Mark it down. Welcome to
Tuesday.
the Late Sesh on Hallows Eve.
Late sesh. We
Late.
should
Oh,
always be at least a minute late to the late sesh. That would make it more late.
Yeah, true.
oh. Well, we'll
There's
try it next week.
blackers.
How's everybody doing? I'm back.
Good, good.
How you
Took a
doing,
day
man?
off.
How you
I'm
doing?
all right. I still got some green snot, but it's way less.
A little under the weather.
You spit the
Man,
majority of it
Dan's
out, huh?
family's got the
Yeah,
vid.
I like seeing the gross snot because that I feel like that means my body's working. I'm getting it out. When all you're doing is hacking and nothing's coming up and you're still stopped up, that's annoying. Or
Yeah.
you're just spitting clear. Snot. It's like, what? Why am I just
There's
leaking?
no infection, you
Yeah.
dingling. When you see green, that means you have an infection. If it's clear, that means it's just viral.
Oh,
Viral. You don't want an infection.
I
You
had
don't want
both.
time.
I had both this weekend.
Oh, use
I lost.
You
infection.
had
I
clear
lost.
coming out
I
this
lost a
side.
solid
Green
10 pounds because,
What?
dude,
That's
I gain and lose weight so fast, but I didn't eat shit. It was like evening Saturday night. I was like, oh, I only had a sandwich today, but like
Mm.
I just wasn't hungry. I was just tired all day. But
Oh, you didn't have your shakes either. That's probably a big part of it.
I know I made sure to have those in the
Oh,
morning. But yeah, I definitely didn't eat enough. So
it
I
happens.
dabbed. I dabbed, but I didn't. Oh, Rebecca made it.
Or
Maybe
just
I'll-
I
yeah.
wasn't smoking any
It'll mess up
flour.
the. It'll come through a microphone.
Hey guys.
What's up, guys? They must be setting up on their phone.
Oh,
There.
they're a little laggy.
Remote
They're
location.
in Mama and Daddy Red's house.
Alright, I gotta get chat up, anyways.
Oh man, I don't have chat up either. I feel like a noob.
Yep. Oh, it's Hallows Eve. Mistakes are to be made.
Is that fun? You guys went for a slide
Otherwise known as Devil's Night.
right there on that plate.
Devil's Night.
No, upper.
Okay.
I think some call it Beggar's Night too.
Beggars Night? I haven't heard
Yeah.
that.
Devil's-
Oh, because people beg for candy.
Yeah.
So,
Beggar's
so Baked, you're from Florida, so you might not know the Devil's Night
Yep.
tradition, but in Detroit back in the 80s and the 90s, on Halloween Eve, all the abandoned houses would get arson and catch on fire, and for
Oh wow.
about a decade or two, they would call Halloween Eve Devil's Night here in Detroit because all the little devils would come out and light the city on fire.
Is that just a Detroit thing?
It was a local Metro Detroit thing, yeah. So that would be, I wasn't allowed out on Devil's Night.
Do you think that's
Kids
like
weren't allowed out. They had
in history?
mandatory curfews put in place. If you were a kid and you were caught out like before fucking 10 p.m., yeah, you'd get taken home.
Sounds like Russia. But oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. I took a bunch of RSO too before the show, so that's gonna be fun. I forgot what I was gonna say. They were burning buildings, and there was something related to that. Oh well, it'll come to me.
Arson's never fun unless you have permission.
You had said Baked while Baked had brought up Devil's Night and the burning in Detroit. You had said, "Do you think in history?" And then you didn't say anything else. So I don't know if that jogs your-
Thanks. That does jog my memory. You can always jog my memory. I got a good jogger, but just not a good holder. So do you think that that'll be like known as the pre-purge in the future? If we
The
ever do a purge,
purge.
yeah, they're like, well, it started in Detroit. They decided they were gonna burn everything one night.
It wasn't
They
really
kinda-
a purge. They were just burning down old abandoned
Well,
buildings.
that's what I'm saying. It resets them. It was thought out. It was like, all right, well now those are gone, so people can buy the lot.
But you
And,
got
the cycle of urban cities, not
It's
like
not Detroit
ecology.
anymore. Detroit's actually the nice city now. Now you got to go out west, and they got more horror stories out there in those big cities.
Ooh.
None to be named, of course. I don't want to offend anybody, but Detroit is actually nicer than most big cities out west, believe it or not. You can't find a piece of chewing gum on the curb or between a curb and a business, let alone like people messing with you. Like it used to be a little different. I used to spend a lot of time down there in the early 2000s. Go down there. I had a lot of friends that went to the art college. I went to Wayne State, which is just north of downtown Detroit. It's right there off of Trumbull, right by the old Tiger Stadium. My grandmother grew up right next door to the old Tiger Stadium. My great-grandmother lived in southwest Detroit my entire childhood, and we'd go visit her down there right on the corner of Livernois and Verner. Some of you guys in chat might know that area. That's an area nowadays it's a little bit better, but that was an area you would not want to be walking around by yourself after dark.
What years are you talking? 2005.
Yeah, probably in the last, probably 40 years ago. Between the 80s and the maybe 10 years ago or so. In the last 10 years, it's been a little bit better. A big investor, Dan Gilbert, went down. Him and the Ilitch family. Ilitch's own like the fucking Red Wings and the Pistons, and brought everybody down to the city. But Dan Gilbert was an investor and started buying up real estate like crazy. And some might call it gentrification, and did a lot of stuff there. But when you talk to a lot of the actual locals of Detroit, people who have lived in the city for 60 years, they're thankful that these guys came in and put money back into the city, because it was one of the most dangerous cities at one time. It's not anymore. It still has its old charm. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to go off the beaten path if you're not invited, or if you don't know the neighborhoods. That it still has those areas, but overall the downtown area and even a lot of the surrounding suburban areas that just a few years ago you didn't want to go down have all been rebuilt. Artists are down there doing their thing. Businesses, small businesses, lots of small businesses, lots of gardeners, farmers. They're doing urban farms in very large scale. You got housing districts going up for sale at like $1,000 a property. People are buying up entire city blocks, leveling it all, and turning it into urban farms. Those are popping up all over the city of Detroit. I've seen some serious urban farms, like in alleyways and between skyscrapers and stuff. I mean, it's really cool down there. And there's blight. There's other stuff. It is what it is. But I'll tell you what, it's not what I've seen. Like, I should say what I've seen digitally. I haven't been out west.
It's a Wookiee.
What, you see DOG on there? There's a Wookiee. Oh, there's a Wookiee. I see a Wookiee.
What?
It's free Groli DOG.
Okay,
I had a costume. It was the only one. I was like, I'm not coming out here all by myself, so I changed already.
Oh, you go get changed again. Listen, guys, your resident Wookiee is here. I'm here to tell you that there is nothing
You can't use that word.
worth smoking other than solventless. And if you're not growing in regenerative organic beds, even indoors, you're doing it wrong. If you're not working barefoot all day, you're doing it wrong.
That kind of a wook, huh?
That suit just brought the wook right out of you.
Well, thank God, because we don't need any suits from Disney.
We sure don't need no glyphosates and chemicals. So good call for Groli.
Good golly, I'll tell you what, I'm not smoking that garbage.
Oh,
Cheers,
Yeah.
guys.
Cheers.
Happy holidays.
Cheers, man.
yeah. You. I guess they don't do trick or treat anymore, really.
Yeah, they do.
Of course.
I've never seen trick or treaters in years. They just do that trunk or treat crap.
Well, there's a lot of that, yeah.
Wait till this year. You're gonna get them. You'll see what a trick or treater is. This is Michigan. We still do things
What are you
right.
talking about? I've been here 3 years and I haven't got one. I bought full-size candy bars last year.
You can't live at the
No
dead
one.
end. You can't live at the dead end of a fucking street with a long driveway.
That's
Expect a
It's
lot of
Halloween.
fucking-
It's Halloween. It's worth the risk.
Listen, Baked, you got to decorate that long, creepy driveway. Like,
Yeah, I don't
No,
decorate
it
at
is
all.
what it is. You know,
Don't do that. Don't do that. It's good that people don't go down.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
at this point,
Turn
I'm
all
like,
those lights off. No one's home.
I just
We're
turn
not
everything
trick-or-treating.
off. Yeah, y'all gonna leave me alone anyways. I just don't like the trunk or treat thing. Get back on the
Those feel
streets.
kind of cheap. Yeah.
Or
What happened to the
Yeah.
streets, yo?
Yeah, it's cheap as hell. You walk trunk to trunk. We had to go yard to yard.
Parking
One
space,
year we were
parking
like,
space.
fuck it, let's get our rollerblades on. Terrible idea, because you want to run through the grass multiple times and can't really do that.
Yeah,
And
'cause
then
people
it
would
was
be,
in
like, parked in their
Pennsylvania. It's like
driveway,
here
can't get
where
sidewalk.
we were frozen one year. It was like we wore our costumes without jackets and shit, and it was like 30, 40 degrees out, and it was miserable. But but that's what makes you get your knapsack full of candy worth it.
Do you have a knapsack, or we used a pillowcase?
That's what I meant. A
That's
pillowcase.
the same thing,
Pillowcase.
Yeah.
right? Maybe. No.
Yep. I don't know. We'd have to Google that. Spartan and I might have to
I had one
have a
thing,
discussion.
another one shoved in it.
I think
So
a knapsack
I-
is usually like tied on the
dump one off.
hobo stick, thing. I think that's
Maybe a bandana.
that's more.
Hey,
knapsack.
you're not going to hold
the
too many
pillowcase-
full-size candy bars in a bandana.
That's
What
what
are
I'm
you
saying. The pillowcase is the move.
Need a-
I always
need a
that was-
pad.
I'm ready though. I got Hershey chocolate bars. They were buy 2 get 1 free for the full packs. Full bar packs. So if a kid comes, they're getting a full size Hershey.
And if not, we're having a lot of s'mores at Lake Sesh.
Exactly. So like win-win there. That's why I bought them.
In college, we like the one, maybe I had a house once or twice, and we definitely not trick or treated. We set out candy ones for it, and I'm sitting there literally at like, I don't know, whatever time it was, 6 o'clock or something, just doing the dishes in the kitchen, and we set out a bowl of candy and did one of those things where we put a sign in it and said, just take one, happy trick or treat, take one.
Yep.
And I'm literally doing the dishes. I look out to my right out the front door, and this kid is just dumping the whole bowl.
Yep.
And
I
this
saw
was like early in the night.
I saw a funny one though where they had a metal bowl that shocked them. So like they would shock them as they walk away with the
That
whole
seems
bowl.
like it might be illegal.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They were stealing your bowl. So
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
technically, private property and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe don't do it, but
Yeah, probably a bad idea. Just a little 9-volt battery.
I hate those kids that do that though. You could even take a handful and I wouldn't give a shit. But like when they're like, oh, I'm gonna take it all.
That's just greedy,
Yeah. But even when I was in Florida, I was in a house for 5 years, same street. We might get one group of kids. So like I'd end up like divvying out a whole bowl between like 5 kids, anyways. So I don't know what happened to the spirit of that Halloween, but
That's
Yeah,
that's a
you can
Parent-
turn your light
that's a
off. That's
issue.
make sure that they don't come.
I
You
blame
don't
the
have to-
parents.
in that neighborhood, Spartan, it was kind of like yours, where houses next to houses, and they were coming. They were coming.
They were coming.
Yeah.
Your lights off, they don't come, man. But I bought a bag of 80, so I better
Did
not.
you go trick or treating? Oh, you
Like-
bought candy anyways?
Well, I buy candy because kids come to my door, and I want to give them the candy.
I got all the candy we got left over. We didn't have anybody.
Left over.
It's not Halloween yet. What are you talking about?
We already
Yeah.
had trick or treat here last Thursday
What
What
is
for
happening?
safety.
What
What?
is safe about
Stop.
a Thursday
Stop.
versus
What is
a Tuesday?
happening?
Because
What the
Tuesday
heck?
is actually Halloween, and it's too dangerous to have.
Oh,
But what happens
my
on
God.
Halloween?
That's a label. It's a name. That is the
Oh my
most
God.
bullshit. This is
We
what I'm
should
saying. This is what
probably
we don't trick
celebrate
or treat because
Christmas
it's
on
turning
Bunch
into.
of
December
fucking
28th.
pussies.
Well, yeah,
Just
it's
say,
like.
bunch of pussies.
Where
That's
where
insane.
are we?
What's happened
going
is the media has won. Everyone thinks everyone's a rapist and a kidnapper, and it's actually statistically not that much. It's like we've lost faith in our fellow neighbors and shit like that, and it's sad. You can't even
No.
have fucking regular trick or treaters.
Little
Well, when you
grand-
say it like that, I kind of agree now. Fuck Halloween.
My
There's too many
little
rapists out there to deal with it.
Dude, you take
Deal
a
with
kid
this
trick or treat and then you stay strapped. You open
So
carry,
my
baby.
little grandson was wanting to trick or treat with
This
his
isn't
friend and couldn't
a
trick or
third
treat.
world country.
Mom wouldn't let him trick or treat because he was afraid there was going to be drugs in his candy.
Well, that's absurdity from Dare and shit like that.
Yeah, drugs are
No
expensive.
drug dealers wasting money that way.
Take the candy away from
Drugs
me.
are way too
Yeah.
expensive.
New
to
bag.
pay
Yeah,
rich
that
people
like
to
that
do.
right there is so
Yeah, but
stupid.
we can go have the experience still, I feel.
You know,
That's
it's
why
not
I posted.
true, or we'd have a lot more stoners trick or treating if that were the case.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, there'd be a line
I-
outside my house. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like,
We were talking
Here's-
about it at work. Like, should you have candy and some
I'll just
pre
talk
rolls
about-
as growers? And then if the parents, seem cool, you give out the pre rolls.
That's
There's nothing
risky,
illegal
but it's
about
also legal. Yeah,
It's
you know?
legal, so all they
Yeah.
can do is say no thanks, or like you can get pissy if you want, but get off my property then, and
But
give me
I do
your
think
kids can give me the candy back I gave them.
You know what it
I like
sounds
that
like?
idea on a property that doesn't have a grow. I like that idea on a property.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think it
was
just
yeah.
lends to that.
Here's what
media
I gather.
coverage of
Here's
the
what I
bad
gather.
I wouldn't do
things.
it because I'm not rolling for them.
Propaganda works. Propaganda works. People believe all that bullshit. It's all propaganda. It just works. Isn't it amazing? Yep. Who would have thought?
Yep. Well, yep.
Should I put my Dare medal back on?
Yeah, you should just wear that to every event. It would be so fucking awesome.
I think people
I
forget
should,
proper.
From now on, you should just wear it, dude. I think
Yeah,
that's fucking
just
awesome.
wear it out like regularly, like going shopping at Meyer, getting some groceries. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I graduated.
Yeah,
Dare.
you should.
1999. What's up? Class of 99. Yeah, oh, Dare. That was before it was great. Gang
Yeah.
resistance education and training. Yeah,
I was like gold, a medalist.
drugs.
Shout out to Anything Grows. I went with her last year in her neighborhood in Illinois.
Was it like 2 weeks before Halloween, or was it?
Yeah. Was it on Thanksgiving?
This was Illinois. It wasn't another country like
Depending on
Ohio.
turkey
For some
leg.
reason. But yeah, they had, not only did some houses have their own walkthrough little haunted houses through like their garage and shit that they made,
Nice,
which was like,
nice.
what
Yeah.
are you talking about? They were passing out alcohol. There's a line for adults and a line for the kids. The kids are getting candy. The adults were getting like Jello shots, and I'm like, what is going on? This is
Wow.
Wild.
amazing.
Well, that's what I was
that-
telling
that-
somebody. The favorite house that I remember when we were trick or treating, there was a couple in
guys
the
used to do that?
neighborhood, and they would do something. They wouldn't even really do just ring the doorbell. It was just a party in the driveway. So they'd be sitting there grilling hot dogs or whatever cheap
Oh yeah.
burgers. They have candy over here for kids. They got drinks over here for the parents, and music or something going, some decorations. But I haven't seen that type of in forever.
Dude, my mom
Uh,
just reminded me about, we had a good neighborhood, and she's not lying, dude. Our neighborhood was like E.T. You guys remember the movie E.T.?
Oh yeah.
Neighborhood, all the kids just everywhere. Like, that was our neighborhood, dude. You couldn't be at a
That was
house without
mine,
being
yeah.
in line for, like, every house had lines, dude. It was wild. So many kids.
I actually just read, or I guess I didn't read the article. I'll be honest. I saw a headline today that said Romeo, Michigan is second only to Salem, Massachusetts, in terms
Whoa.
of tourist attraction for the Halloween theme, if you will, something along those lines. And it's because there's like one street in Romeo that just literally every single house like goes hardcore, I guess.
Oh,
think
like
Romeo
those Christmas
also has
neighborhoods.
that- Romeo also has that, like, the world's biggest haunted house, too.
Do they really?
There's like,
Let's
I
Google
think
that.
it's in Romeo.
Maybe
Yeah,
Michigan's
It's
biggest.
something like huge.
Romeo, Michigan.
It's
Takes
like
like
north.
Is there a
northwest
Juliet,
Macomb
Michigan?
County.
Because that would be cool. If there's a
Juliet. Oh,
a
probably.
Romeo.
I know there's a hell and a.
I've been to hell many times.
Well, we know.
I
We know.
I grew up right outside of hell, honestly. They
How
got the
often do you
damn
think
the
they
damn
have to
side
read
in is about the
Oh,
only thing there.
there's,
in the church.
Paradise. There's a hell and a paradise. I was gonna say heaven, but I knew it wasn't heaven.
There's a
hell and
climax,
paradise.
Michigan.
There's a climax. There's also a Christmas, Michigan.
Oh.
Paradise.
I was gonna say it's in Paradise up by the UP.
Yeah,
I thought we
Yep.
were in
Yeah,
Paradise.
we stayed in New York in Paradise. It was a couple of years.
A year, nice.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a fan of the show up there.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's beautiful up there.
it really is.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a headline that said the ski resort in Michigan was rated second or the best in the country. I think it was second best. So I'm like, really? This
Is it-
flat state? So I clicked on it, and it was literally the tippy top of it was like Minnesota, if anything, / Canada.
that
Like
Oh, I was
it was
thinking
literally 9.5 hours from me.
probably up in
Like,
Iowa.
yeah, like that to me, that's not really even Michigan. I guess the lines are there.
It is
Yeah,
though.
the Upper Peninsula has a couple good ski resorts. I think there's one in
Yeah.
Marquette too.
Well, the cool thing is, I then got delved into it. And I was like, well, I could just get a flight because there's an airport like an hour away.
That's not the Copper Mountain one, is it? Is it
And
Copper
you probably
Mountain?
get
It might be Copper Mountain.
you might be able to get a flight out of Jackson too, which would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like one of them smaller planes.
Yeah,
or
if
just-
you're doing puddle jumpers, there's
that or Grand Rapids. I got.
well, dude,
I could always drop the dog off in Grand Rapids.
Grand
Shout out to
Rapids,
Nursekeek.
You do Lansing.
there's airports in Charlevoix, you know, if we're talking small planes. There's literally an airport in the Hiawatha National Forest just south of Munising, if we're talking puddle jumpers. There's a lot of little airships. I mean, Boyne Mountain has one at basically the foot of it. There's a lot of different places you can get in and out of if you had a little tiny Cessna or something.
My sister lives out by Boyne Mountain.
It's a nice area. So guess what came in, guys?
What? Oh, the seeds. You got 2 packs of raspberry? Oh, I see. They're the same color. Squirt.
Raspberry parfait and squirt. What's squirt?
That's
Squirt
that
is
grapefruit.
tangy
Oh.
times blueberry muffin.
Yep.
Okay.
Look at you, dude. I can never pull those like lineages up that quick.
I was just talking about it to a coworker. All we do is talk genetics at work.
I know. I
It's
see. I don't
just-
I don't get that deep into it. And here's, I guess, the freebie they sent me. Whatever this is, mixed nuts, femme. We'll see. Oh, and
I think it's
Michelle
called
was doing something
Copper
last night.
Harbor. Red.
Schizo.
Copper Harbor.
Yeah, Copper. The one you said is in Colorado.
What, Copper Mountain?
Yeah, when I searched that, that's Boulder, Colorado. But Copper Harbor's up
a
there.
state. Yeah,
Copper
Yeah,
Harbor's
I
the
think it's
way
up
northern
there in
tip.
Copper. That's what I think it is.
So there's
Can't remember where. Or
Marquette
Eagle Harbor.
Marquette Mountain is a pretty common one, but Mount Bohemia is up there. Kind of a.
That I think is it. Mount
the most-
Bohemia.
It's
Mount
like the
Bohemia.
Sounds
highest.
familiar.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
way up there.
I was just talking to some other growers about
Apparently,
it.
it got rated really good, and the
Up in
pictures
the
I saw
top-
looked
it's up
like
in the
real
old
mountains.
Copper Mountain area.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's the highest elevation this side of the Mississippi, other than like one state or something, or like outside of the mountains. I don't know, something like that.
Oh,
Someone was
cool.
trying to describe it to me.
What'd you say it was? Mount what? That's what it
Bohemia.
is. Bohemia. Yep. Yep. Mount
Which
Bohemia.
I
I'll pull it
don't
up.
think is our highest
Show you
point.
guys
Our
where it
highest
is.
point is
South
No, it's not
19
the highest. It's not the exact highest. But...
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I see what you mean.
19.
Height.
I think it's 1,900 feet is our highest point, and I think the mountain starts with an A. I think it's
So-
like Atla or something like
Yeah, it's
that.
just
Copper
south
Harbor.
of
There's Eagle. It's right here.
Okay, so when
So
you're
like you
when
got to
you're-
go
hold
way
on.
the hell up there. Yeah.
Pull up. Yeah, that's legitimately like a 10-hour drive from where you're at, probably.
Yeah.
Pull up the pictures, the Google Maps pictures of this place, because when you're skiing down it, you see a lake, and it's, I mean, when it's not frozen
Oh,
over, it's
right here?
unreal. Yeah,
Oh, that's
dude.
cool.
That's
It's really cool.
sick. And they got lifts. Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, they got fucking hot tub
Yeah,
pools.
man. It's a
Yurts.
really.
I'm about to go
Actually,
yurt it up.
You guys won't like it. You probably shouldn't go that far north, and don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. You won't like it. Oh man, it looks cold as fuck though.
Dude,
But
yeah.
I've got a good parka. I've got a good parka.
They're already getting.
I'll tell you what, it's already snowing in northern Michigan, dude. They're gonna have feet.
You have to pick the right month. Yeah, you'd have to pick like the warmish
Did
winter
you guys get
month.
snow today?
Yeah,
it
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 was
was still
I
here.
got flurries and I was pissed. I was like,
Yeah, we-
nah,
And
I haven't even blown my
earlier than
fucking
last year.
leaves.
Maybe 2 weeks earlier.
I got all of our plants taken in.
Oh, super.
And I need these excavators to get here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so Superior
6 inches already
Buds
falling up
up there
there.
in the UP. He
Six,
knows a lot
6
about
inches.
that town we were talking about earlier.
So here it comes. Yeah,
Snowing
they're
all
gonna. Yeah, they'll see grass in what, end of June probably.
Northern Michigan already got their 6 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got fucked already.
Yeah, dude.
Oh god.
It's coming this year. I feel it.
It's still snowing all night.
Yeah, Blue Kids. I'll be by the fire with ample supply of hot chocolate. So
With or without marshmallows.
with marshmallows if possible. I don't know if they can get marshmallows that far
Bonus
north.
points.
Hey, shout out to
I think
Blue
they
Kiss.
can.
We're
Out of all-
gonna get a chance to party with Blue Kiss tomorrow night. We're going to see Billy Strings, the
Oh, nice.
the Van Andel
Hope you guys have a great time.
scramble, baby.
Where's that?
Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids.
Oh, nice.
Billy Strings is
They
at
got
the
a good
lead.
fish store there, I've read.
Yeah. Couple. There's going to be a bunch of fish fans there too, I'd imagine. There's
Oh, no, not that kind of fish.
there's a big there's a couple guests that are joining, and then they're having like a pro wrestling theme.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Last Halloween it was into the Shire with
Lord of the
like
Rings.
Lord of the Rings theme.
Some
So
hobbits.
this
I
year,
got a coworker into wrestling, and today I saw an ugly sweater of Macho Man with the cream. If anybody knows that, and I think I'm gonna get him that.
Red, there are a lot of people in the industry. Between Saturday and today, I heard of maybe at least a dozen people going to that concert from the industry. And I know
Grand
it was
Rapids is
somewhere-
really nice, so
Yeah.
I bet that's gonna be a sweet show.
I'm pretty
Just
sure
bring your
Eagle's
jacket.
going.
yeah, I think Eagle and
Maybe
some of those guys are gonna be. Yeah, Casey's
Nice.
going.
Nice.
Third Eye, and Bubbles Are Fun will be there.
Nice. That'll be
There's
fun.
still tickets available, and if they already have any idea what they are,
They're like
priced at right now,
$40 a ticket.
They come back
That's not
down.
bad.
That's not bad.
Oh, not bad at all. He
He does a really good show. I'll
It's
give
an
him
awesome
that.
light
dude,
show.
for $40. Oh yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, man. I've spent a couple $100 on big name artists that don't put on nearly as good of a show as that dude does. Granted, the artists are probably 5 times the age of him, but still, you know.
It'll be good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the dude you could listen to his music all day and not be into bluegrass, but like you go catch his live show and you might be into bluegrass. It's pretty phenomenal what he does, what the band does and puts together with, you could say it's in the key of bluegrass. You know, it's in the genre, but it's much more metal, rock and roll, jam, yeah,
But like
jam, metal jam. Yeah, it's a really cool combination of music there. They really put a nice little niche into their sounds. It's really cool. They really got big in the jam scene, you know, doing festivals as a bluegrass band. Got big in Traverse City. And what's cool is that, I mean, he's a local dude. I mean, he's from the Lansing area, or like Iowa, something like that. And then he got big in Lansing, or he got big in Traverse City.
Or is the audio picked up for anybody else, or is it just me?
Yeah,
No,
that's
Red,
okay.
your audio is
You're very robotic right now, Red, and you just started talking
my
about how
favorite.
unique their voice was and stuff, and I thought it was very fitting, but it's not for everybody else. I don't know what's going on there. So maybe give them a chance to buffer whatever's going on over there with their Wi-Fi. But what day was that show? Anybody else know? Like tomorrow, next day?
Halloween? Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, so it's tomorrow. Because I'm gonna be in Grand
Yeah.
Rapids actually again. Was just there for that Gems event, but coming up this coming weekend, Mr. Roboto over here, for a comedy show. Another fun comedy show, but probably not as fun as a Billy Strings show with somebody else.
Who's doing what show? I didn't hear who you said you're seeing.
Mark Norman.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one.
He's not afraid of saying anything, that dude.
Which is why I'm excited about it.
Yeah. For being a little guy, he'll say anything. And that's,
Yep. That's comedy.
that's comedy. Yeah.
Well, that's, I don't know, more my speed of show. I've seen, I don't know, I like going to reggae shows. Actually, I saw Soja for the first time in Grand Rapids. I forget the venue, but they're I guess a reggae-ish band, but it's like a 12-piece band. I mean, like trumpet, saxophone, guitar, vocals, everything. Yeah, but bongos and drum set, like just whatever, dude. Practically a drum circle. But SOJA. Big fan of them. They got nominated or maybe won like an Emmy or something a couple of years ago, like at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was Mrs. Ferroli was just like, well, there goes those ticket prices. The $40 shows are over. They're not going to be competing, for 100 plus or whatever, getting sniped on Ticketmaster and all this other stuff. So
that's the thing that I hate the scalpers. It's like,
yeah,
it's just like, why do you got to ruin it for everybody?
mm-hmm.
Yep. Tell me about it. Can't get a Pokemon pack for a good price these days.
Hey, just FYI, this has come down to $6.75. I'll take $6.50 for it.
Hold on, which series is that from? Because I believe I have 3 of those now.
It's the McDonald's.
That's from the series of McDonald's.
Oh, it's the McDonald's one, so it's like $1.
No, $6.75 now currently, but I'll take $6.50.
No, it's crazy that the companies they don't give a shit because they make their end, so why not?
They're still making their money, man. Why not?
Yep. I also remember working at Target and the scalpers would come in to buy like Funkos or other toys and shit, and they're the most know-it-all, rude people. They're like, website says this, and you're like, well, I checked. I've been here for 3 years, and I checked every corner. We don't have it. Or like other times, our system wouldn't let us sell it. Like it's locked in till tomorrow, 12/1 or something like that. And they're like, it says 11/31, and then they get real rude with you. But scalpers, man.
That's what I always thought was hilarious when I worked at stores. Like I worked at Best Buy, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head is like, I'm the only one that can help you.
Exactly. And you're just
I'm gonna walk out back. I'm not even gonna look for your shit.
I'm gonna go play on my phone. Yeah.
Come back out, and I'm gonna tell you it's not here.
I hear the big ones though in music is the ticket companies have so many damn fees on their end.
Yeah.
I hear that's
what kills me is like
big
the time the scalper buys the ticket and then resells it at a profit, and however many times that happens, the artist doesn't get any of that either. You know what I mean? The artist is getting fucked in the end too. There's all these people in between the artist and the person who wants to watch the artist that has to have their hand in the fucking, in the pot. And by the time it gets to the fucking person wanting to watch the show, you're paying $100.
Are you guys just talking about ticket scalping?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ticket companies charging mega fees.
It's getting even worse.
Stuff.
The fees on the ticket company. That's a whole ball game, dude. A lot of these.
I mean, look at the tippy top. They want you to pay
Billy
your savings
Strings,
to go
example,
to Taylor.
Billy Strings' merchandise is like hotter than his ticket sales, right? So you get people showing up to the shows just.
Bye.
Oh, geez.
Welcome back.
Hold on, I'm here. I'll be right back. Where is it?
You're here. Billy Strings merch, really hot items. eBay.
Done.
Better
we'll
than the
there we are. We're back. Here we are. Hi.
I mean, we're looking at you the whole time. I promise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't looking at you. So let's see.
I mean,
Dead and Company. We go to the show. You got to get there. You got to get in the poster line before this one asshat gets in poster line, because he's buying 200, 300 posters, and by the time he gets to his car, he's got them on eBay for quadruple the price.
Why are they selling them to them? To him,
dude. Yeah, they're not like some artists are starting to put like three, like Billy Strings was doing like a 2 poster limit because these asshats were showing up to his shows doing that, buying out all his vinyls, buying out all this, which they want to sell.
That's what I'm saying.
But he wants his fans to get it. So you actually
that's what I'm saying.
Or maximums at Billy Strings shows. Dead and Company, dude. This was all over Reddit. Like you could look it up.
What they do?
Dead and Company.
eBay's a dead art. Bidding on eBay is a dead art. If it's something that's a good price, that's not at the maximum set level by scalpers, they have bots, and so there's no point in bidding on anything on eBay. If it's buy it now, you can grab it. But and you can negotiate. I always contact the seller and be like, "Will you take $10 less and see if I can buy it now that way?" But you're not gonna win a bid. I tried so hard for a while when I was collecting all my OG like PlayStation and other games, and I couldn't win a bid. If
Dude,
it was
I
if
sold some
like,
collectibles on eBay, and most of the stuff that is bought without a buy it now is with a bid within the last minute. So that tells me, yeah, it's probably
no, I would sit there and I test it myself, and I sat there the last minute, and I'd be like, all right, here's $1 more. As soon as you put in $1, you get a notification that somebody put in $1 more. It's literally too fast for it not to be a bot.
milliseconds.
And they're also quicker than you. So the last second they'll get one in, and you just it's I'm sure somebody wins, but
They
it's
can
so hard.
refresh faster than you can.
Yeah, it's a computer. But yeah, so it's frustrating, but like, and that's what I'm saying. Like with how Red said with Billy, that's cool that Billy Strings wants his fans to get him. That's how it used to be. Like the people that originally started like Pokemon, which is kind of a lame example. It's for kids, but like originally, like it was for kids, so it's still for kids, and kids aren't getting them. So like you would think, but Nintendo, who I believe owns everything now on that, doesn't give a shit. So it's like that's the sad part. It's like they just allow the scalping to continue, but gotta get your hands on what you can.
Well, how would Nintendo be able to stop the scalping?
Just like during COVID, when you could only buy one toilet paper at Target, per customer or something like that, you could easily do the same. Sure, if you got a 15 family, bring them, but that's what makes it a lot harder for most people
What
to
if
get
what if they just printed more cards?
So you're just saying
They-
no more online sales?
it wouldn't matter because the scalpers would buy them all.
So why
But
would
they don't do online sales really, other than wholesale. So you'd have to buy a whole set thing. It's like $500.
So
So
why
yeah,
would
I guess you can get your money's worth then.
Yeah.
But the like, so for instance, the most value if you're just collecting is booster packs, and they come in a 6-pack now. They're not even singles, so you have to buy 6 of them, and it's $25. It's supposed to be if you get it from Target, Walmart, someplace like that, but you're never gonna find it there. The scalpers are charging $49.99, so then it just makes it stupid to buy that, and it's just ruins it. It's just pain. But capitalism, yay! Yeah.
It's disheartening for those guys. Like we lucked out, right? We had a package with VIP. We got early entry into the show. We were able to like go to the merch booth and get take. Billy Strings has been putting his merch booth outside the venues lately because the merch line is so long. When we went to go see him at where was it? It was Kalamazoo last year. The merch line was 3/4 of the way around a hockey arena. It was a fucking hockey. I'm not kidding you, dude. Like the merch was in here. You had to like, we're like, oh, the line's going out, and then when you got in the room, it was snaked in with stanchions. So there was stanchions snaked for like a couple 100 feet in the room. Outside of the room, around the concourse of the arena, you know where all the fucking kiosks, food kiosks and shit are. 3/4, almost a full fucking loop all the way around the arena.
Well, so yeah, why wouldn't you buy 200 posters and then just walk down that line and sell them for $10 more a pop? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
if they're allowing you to do that, that's kind of on the artist's merch team. You know what I mean? Because I know they try to not do that with tickets.
He's not allowing you to do that. It's other bands that are.
Oh, I thought you said someone got 200 of his posters.
No, that's a dead end company.
Oh,
At like a whole leg of concerts from like the East Coast through like Colorado. Actually, I think to the end of this, it's basically the second half of the tour. Somebody like the same guy, he kept getting photographed and posted on Reddit. He got fucking like people were talking about doing very bad things to this poor guy. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of rough. You know, the guy's just trying to make some money. But honestly, I don't condone what he's doing. People are like, oh, I'll just like jump for joy next to him. You know, oops, I accidentally spilled my beer all over all your fucking bullshit posters. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
So this guy, he would buy 200 posters from a kiosk, and then you go to the next kiosk. He'd spend $20,000-$30,000 getting all the posters, and then immediately people were seeing them on eBay. Like I watched a dude walk to his car, and like all of a sudden they were on eBay he bought them for $60 a pop, and you know they're going for $350. And those are like people who are going to the show, like wanting to bring home their souvenir. You know what I mean? And they want to come home with a poster, but every kiosk is sold out of posters and they can't get one. And they go to eBay to try to get the show poster. Now it's $300. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
Well,
man.
and here's what they're going to do next time. If they're not limiting the sales to one person, they're just going to print more posters next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these
I'm
are
with
done,
for
these are
girl. You
done
blame the
independently.
supplier, the
They-
seller.
So that's not how these posters work. They're not being mass manufactured like that. Well, it's an artist that does a limited release. So they
So he's
only
purposely
they
gouging
only
it,
do
though.
like 1,000 posters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're signed and dated at the
And they're
bottom.
selling one guy 200 of them. That's so crazy.
So all of the posters we have on our wall are actually numbered, 113
Yeah.
or 500 or whatever it is. And the artists themselves fork the cost to get. So like AJ Mastey, for example, he's one of the artists that does Grateful Dead work and does that stuff. And he does his prints independently. And he actually has his own printing machines and stuff like that. And he'll work his own printing off in his studio. And I mean, he'll hand lay gold leaf and shit like that on his posters. Like these posters are no joke. They're printed like t-shirts would be printed. So it's not stuff that gets printed out of none of it's digitally.
Or Epson printer or something like that.
It's all silk screen. So you lay a silk screen, you lay a stencil, and you lay ink, and you scrape ink over
Quality.
Quality, and then you lay
Yeah.
and you lay another color of ink. And dude, if there's 10 colors, that's multiple stencils, and like the way that they have to lay it has to be perfect. And that's, they might be doing, maybe they're doing like 4 at a time or something like that, depending on the size of the hand roll.
Look at the difference between these shirts up here. You know what I mean? Tara's probably got the most extensive like artwork in terms of amount of colors. We've got Troy with like 2 colors here, and then maybe 3 colors over here. Like that's not a lot.
2 or 3.
That's not a crazy amount of work. That gradient and stuff. Now we're talking, Tara.
Yeah.
That's where screen printing gets fun.
Yes, yeah. So like people who are actually, doing that, and it's not just being like laser jet printed or like, something like that. It's an art, and it's a huge art. And that's why some of these posters end up getting such a high ticket. And now not all the posters will go for $300. Some of them might end up going for more than thousands of dollars because of the artist who's doing them and because of the limited release and the limited number.
It's like number 2 out of 420.
Yeah. And honestly, and there's a reason for that too. The lower numbers and also like print release, right? So let's say you get like 1,000 copies of a vinyl pressing, or those lower numbers they're either more or less likely to have the defects. You know what I mean? Some of them, sometimes it's more likely because, they're the first few, but sometimes they're the least likely because it's got the best pressing, the least
precious screens and shit.
Yeah. So like sometimes like the first few will either have like the miscellaneous defect, or sometimes the first few are the most perfect ones. You know what I mean? And it really, the number can mean a lot, in that respect. I've gotten records that just like are cut like shit. There's stuff. I mean, there's stuff that goes on during manufacturing, but like generally speaking, with the printing stuff, you're talking fresh ink, fresh stencils, fresh, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? That's all handmade, hand cut. You got a fresh hand.
It is handmade, and I think that's the difference between something that's like a mass-produced thing. This is more of an Etsy product than an Amazon product, right?
I got some Etsy holographic foil coming from like Sweden.
Oh, Javo.
It's super like reflective, so you just jam it in the dice and then pour the resin in.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm hoping it's gonna pop.
Are you trying to get it behind where the numbers are, or are you just putting it in
like
randomly?
I'll have to find. No, you just scrunch it up and put it in there, and then pour the resin, because it's so weird. I have to find an example, but that's how they get that galaxy effect.
Okay.
And then they'll put like black and green dye, or black and purple, or black and something, and that with the shimmer in between. Yeah.
Shimmer and shake.
Yep. I gotta get on that.
Did Emily tell you about the dice that we saw at the game shop in so wherever the farmers market is that we visited in Illinois, but they had like inside the whatever, it doesn't matter what size, we'll say a D20. There's an eyeball that floated inside. There's like liquid inside. It was a clear.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that
You don't want to talk
because
about
I've been on a Kickstarter for 2 years from these assholes that it looks like they're just kind of gonna dodge everyone for dice that are supposed to be precision. They're not floating
Where'd that go?
eyes. They're just set in their eyes, so it's not even as hard as floating eyes. And it's been 2 years, and nobody's got their dice. The people that have gotten them they're trash, and the guys haven't. They're doing. Yeah, it's just a shim sham. First Kickstart and probably last Kickstarter.
Bummer.
Yeah, so like it really killed my faith, which sucks because there's so much cool stuff. I like supporting small garage ops, instead of big guys if I can, but not if they're just gonna take my money and run. You have no protection on Kickstart.
So is that what you're thinking when you order shit on Amazon all the time?
What?
Well, Bezos is the
Important
ever
guy.
protector. He'll protect us.
Well, I usually don't order that unique items on Amazon. Amazon's more for your basic items that you're just
Yeah,
gonna get.
actually,
You're just gonna pay $10 more locally at Home Depot, and which is a shitty corporation too. So like,
But at least they're employing people
I'll
in the
save.
local area that you're giving them money. and
Amazon employs a shit ton of people. There's so many drivers. Like, why would I pay $10 more to Home Depot, a corporation, versus Amazon?
Well,
I can understand. I can understand if there's a local shop that's gonna have the item, and
Yeah.
it's gonna go to Billy Bucktooth
How about
and his
Ace?
family.
How about
But
Ace? It's even closer for you. Ace Hardware. How do you feel about
Ace, another corporation. What are you talking about? It's
Yeah,
a
it's
franchise.
Family owned or Ryan though.
Home Depot?
The
Ace?
Rothschilds are a family. Do I want to pay them money? Not really.
Daddy Rat.
You all the time.
Hey,
But
Daddy Red.
what's the
up, my
difference?
big dog?
Daddy, making an appearance.
What's the difference between
Red.
the Warrens and Bezos?
The what?
The people that own Walmart.
Walton.
Waltons, that's it.
I don't know. Spartan
Like-
likes to shop at one and not the other.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no difference between paying
Exactly.
them
That's what I've
money.
been saying for years.
What? I shop at fucking Meyer. At least it's a union.
Say there's some rich motherfucker up there gouging prices, making a shit ton and pocketing most of it, just
No,
like
it's
Bezos.
The
For
union
sure.
job. At least it's going to union paid workers. I can get behind that.
I saw
Okay,
my
I
first
can
union
see that.
strike today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, over in Burton.
Yeah.
At,
I'm excited
every
for all the
entrance of the
strikes.
GM plant. There's
They
three tents set up.
actually the Fords that they made a deal with Ford.
I saw
They
that.
did.
Yeah, and then GM is a tentative deal, but they did make it.
Well, they're
Thank
still
you.
out there.
Are they really?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Is it a
yeah. All-
supplier or is it an actual?
I think okay. So I think what it is in Burton, it's called the GM like customer care facility.
Red's got a boat.
And so I don't. I'm on a boat. I don't know exactly what they do there, but I drove by it, and there was every entrance, like every driveway, there was a tent with people camped out around a campfire kind of deal, and
Huh.
holding signs and all that good stuff. Yeah, so it's still going on for sure, at least there.
Well, hopefully they get what they're looking for.
Fair treatment. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Exactly.
This country.
I'm
Gotta
not
start
gonna
somewhere.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in the union, I was a steward. I was in that shit deep. Like I was on the bargaining committee. I was helping get contracts negotiated on the negotiating committee and everything. And it's important work. It's a fucking amazing to me what companies will get away with if they think they can.
Well, the sad part is a couple dirty crooks ruined it for everyone back in the 70s and 80s and gave corporations the opportunity to start propagandizing against unions. And now there's a huge group of people who look at unions as corrupt and all they're going to do is take my fees and use it to go play golf and stuff, and it's like, well, that was convenient for corporations. But really, yeah, the idea of unions are to protect us from what we have now, which is kind of corporations amok.
It does seem like the power is in the hands of the employees right now, because think about all the strikes that are going on between Hollywood and SAG, all of the casinos right now in Detroit. Pretty much, 3 out of the major 4, well, maybe 2 out of the major 4 car manufacturers at this point. Like, there are a significant amount of major union strikes going on right now, and I think really since the pandemic started, the power has been an employees market. It's been an employer's market for as long as I've been an adult. And I think this is the first time I'm seeing a really like an employees market.
Well, it's crazy because everybody has, I think it helps with the power of the internet and social media, and news travels so fast. But when you can see numbers, like I'll just take the UAW stuff right now, where they're saying like the big 3, they averaged 40% increases in wages for the white collar work.
C-suite.
Oh well, yeah.
And in the same time, the people in the union were making less than they were back.
Yeah. I mean, I was working at Target during COVID, and like they thought we were so dumb that like we didn't know to connect dots and stuff. Like, oh, you're congratulating us that we hit this goal that you wanted every time, every month or whatever you wanted. We're also reading in the papers and stuff that Target, Walmart, and all retailers are having their record-breaking profit month after month after month during COVID. And yet you're firing these people and stuff like that, and just tell us you don't have money to raise and stuff like that.
That is also how they reduce their corporate margins, though, is like, and every time things are going well for a corporation, that's when they're going to start slimming down, because that's just the cycle of things.
They only slim at the bottom, though. They start at the bottom, and then.
No, I'm not going to sit here and defend freaking
I wouldn't
Fortune
defend
500 corporations.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean? Like, I have a long way to go before I have any kind of. Yeah, we'll just stop there.
Yeah, but
Say it, babe.
yeah,
Say the C word.
But yeah, but I mean, I always wanted to fight. Like, we didn't have a union in Target, and you couldn't even talk about it, because if you talked about it, you'd be gone. Florida's like Michigan. There's no reason to fire state,
right
or whatever.
Or whatever it's called.
Yeah, right to work, exactly. And so like if you talked about unions, or actually if you actually engaged and was like an active and started, you would probably be let go. And then, or at the very least, what one of their huge tactics was, here's 15 hours a week. Not even worth the drive.
Good luck surviving.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna do it really weird hours so that you can't get another job or something.
You're not getting health care anymore. Like, you don't qualify.
Yeah, and then the other half of that is, if you can get by that, if you could secretly, get everybody in a Facebook group, then you have to convince these people that have kids and are already borderline, homeless, most of them, and stuff like that, to leave work for a couple weeks.
First of all, back up. It only takes 2 people. So if there's one other person that's interested in a union in your workplace, that's all it takes.
That's interesting.
That's all it takes for you to call a vote, is to have 2 people interested. So once you call for a vote, then you have to convince everybody.
Oh.
That a union is a good thing, but it only takes 2 people to get it going, and it only takes 2 people to get that.
Speaking from experience,
those 2 people go for a vote,
is after you get one person, or do you need to really? Because I feel like there's like a certain amount of time you have before like the executives catch on, right? That something.
I was just say, couldn't they just fire those 2 people that call for the vote?
They can, and then you can sue them for wrongful termination.
You could say we started a vote, and okay, well that's interesting. That's good to know. But see, it's like,
even in
this
I'll tell you what they do.
Absolutely,
I've
yeah.
seen it done.
Okay.
They'll take those people and they'll fire them for something else. They'll take some nitpicky portion. They filled out a form wrong.
Hey guys, this is why you get yearly or biannual reviews. It's so they can nitpick you along the way and just refer back to it and throw you to the trash whenever they.
Bro, I started refusing my quarterly reviews at Target, because they were you could get a great and get I remember getting 24 cents. 24 cents. And I was just like, Okay, thanks. Like, I'm gonna
I
go
got. You
back
know
to
what I
work.
got?
Like, you
You know what
wasted my time at that. I
you
should
know
be
what my
getting that
annual raise was?
automatically due to inflation. Like,
Yeah,
My annual
especially
raise big.
recently.
what do I get if I don't do any? If I don't work hard, 10
Dude,
cents? Okay, I'll do
Dude, check
that.
this out. I was working for a shop. I was a valve technician. I went to school for this job. I got a fucking license to fix airplanes. I got my annual review. I got a 15-cent raise for
Yeah,
annual review. 15 cents. I'm like,
yeah. And you're just like, what is this? I
15
got to be at
cents?
the company for 20 years, and then you'll start eating good. It's like, oh, cool.
I was making like 14 bucks an hour back. I don't know, dude. 10 years ago, something like that.
But I mean, companies are also seeing it too, because I got a buddy that's in tech, and he literally job hops probably every 2 to 3 years, and there's no repercussions, and he gets usually double the amount he was making every single time. So he went,
The corporate world, that is the way to increase
loyalty
your,
is dead on their side, so there shouldn't be loyalty on your side.
in the
Dude, this
corporate world, that is
company,
the way to increase your wages. It is
Yeah.
not by vertical movements within the same company. It's by lateral movements amongst.
I take
others.
that to a lot of things. Insurance. Don't stick with your insurance company for too many years, because you're gonna realize, holy shit, they're way off what I could be paying for the same stuff. And so you shop around there, and there's even your internet, like internet provider. If you can, if
Cell
you have multiple
phone.
choice, check that cell phone. Exactly. Make
Ask
sure
for the
they're not.
retention
They
department.
don't.
You know what I
They
mean?
don't give loyalty rewards anymore like they used to. So
dude, it's
They didn't
crazy.
even give
Even
they
mobile
give the new
rewards.
people the
even the
rewards.
manufacturing. I worked what I worked for. I worked for a manufacturer. I worked for a manufacturer's maintenance facility, right? So they were a manufacturer. They manufactured landing gear and valves for airplanes, and they also manufactured construction equipment.
Red, did you move? You're a little choppy.
No, I didn't move.
Oh,
I mean, I'm in the garage.
it was
sitting on
fine a minute ago. Oh well.
golf cart. I'm actually not touching the phone. So this company like hundreds of $1 million contracts with airlines to use their valves on their airplane with contracts with Boeing and all these other fucking huge companies. Multi hundreds of millions of dollars. The parts of the little valves that I would fix would have an actuator, a little tin can actuator the size of a pop can, a soda can. Those actuators alone were tens of thousands of dollars, and all they did was fucking it was just an electric actuator that turned a gear. And then the valve mechanics of it, let's say I need a nut or a bolt, you're talking $200-300 for a nut or a bolt. Like the money that was being thrown around.
Yeah, but is this like tungsten steel, because it's going inside an engine where we don't need to ever want it to break?
Yes, no, maybe so. Like some of it, yes. Some of it is just.
But someone was just
steel,
overcharged, like the medical industry kind of thing, where it's like, we can, so we charge a lot. It's special.
It's heavily regulated. It's
Yeah.
They're dotting all their I's and crossing all their T's with the FAA and all of that stuff and more. International fucking contracts. I mean, all kinds of fucking money, dude.
2 minutes of hash time.
And yeah, 15 cents as a technician, keeping their property.
Well, then you do the math. It's like, let's say you got that 15 cents quarterly. All right, cool. That's 60 cents a year. Let's say you have a family or something. 60 cents a year does not even compete with inflation.
Let's say I worked for that company for 10 years. What's that? Oh, $6?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's $6. Yeah, it's not. Yes,
it's 14
but yeah.
cents a year. Where am I at in 10 years? Oh, you give me $1.50 out of the last 10 years? No, I mean I'm sure.
Yeah,
some guy might be
I can buy a nice pair of shoes. Sweet.
Pay attention to inflation, people, because the standard is and was 3%, right? That is the standard of inflation, the standard of raises. Yep. That is not consistent at all with what we've experienced in the last few years. And year over year, it was as high as 8%. So that means if you're getting a 3% raise and a year of inflation with 8%, you're losing more, I believe, more than 5% of what you made the year before. That means you're actually making less than what you made the year before.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
if
You're
your
going
wages are
backwards,
not
yeah.
keeping up with inflation,
Yeah.
you're actually making less. And if you're not making more than inflation, you're not actually making any more. So demand more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
Ooh,
the thing. You're not
hashtag.
actually getting a raise. You're just getting compensation for inflation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're not actually.
And
getting paid
you're
more
probably
for your
getting more
experience.
responsibilities while getting no more wages. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. More responsibilities. And at that, by the time you're tenured, they want somebody new to come and replace you anyways. You know what I mean? Just for multitudes of reasons. It's wild how corporate ladders work, man. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. They work out for a lot of people. And a lot of people are able to get through it, but I'll tell you what, man, it's tough depending on the industry that you're working in and who you're working for and who your employers are. They can either be really good to you or they can fucking just, make your life living hell. That's for sure. And all you're trying to do is fucking, lay down a job, lay down a work. And it's like, oh, get a degree. And it's like, you can get a degree all you want, but unless you get the right employer, they're gonna bend
Who you
over.
know. Yeah.
What are you guys hash timing on? I'm getting down on this Clement lime. Little combination of clementine and lime skunk.
Triple burger rosin.
Delicious.
I
I
got
guess I'm gonna have to get inside before Becca does hash time without me.
I was gonna say you got the Dr. Dabber.
GMO dry stuff from Becca's stash.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Red Sesh.
Sweet. Triple burger rosin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that.
That's good
What do you,
shit.
how do you guys? How does it compare, like, to the hydrocarbon extract? All honesty,
It's way easier to deal with because of the consistency, for one, obviously.
Depends on which hydrocarbon. The mix was a lot easier to deal with than the straight run that was it's dry and crumbly. But the flavor's almost the exact same, I think. Like it's the same triple burger like flavor. So that's interesting because there was a whole lot more phenos.
what is the? I don't know if the returns. Any idea on the returns? Were they similar?
It was 2.9% return.
Okay.
So, like medium. Like that was press return, I think. Or no. I'd have to do the math. I'll try to do it this week and bring it to the show.
Is
'Cause he gave me
2.9
all the numbers.
2.9 is like an average or a median for like solventless pressed rosin?
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm pretty sure guys like Yeti and all this and Terra can know, but they want like 4 or 5s. What he was talking about, his buddy having a 6%er, 6% yield is
high.
because if let's say I got 2.9% and I think I got I don't know how many. I think I got 8.5 ounces. So if I would let's say I got 6%, that's double. That doubles that 16 or
Significantly,
17.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Okay,
1% is such a huge jump, but
As long as the
I would have
quality is the
liked to have
same.
half and half. Give you half and give him half to see the actual huge difference in probably yield.
Well, all you got to do is look at the yield per batch or per run. You know what I mean? It's going to pretty much be the same every time. I mean, you could literally do
true.
50-50, but I mean, as long as it's multiples of 1,600 or so.
Yeah. We'll have the Spark Duke soon.
I did not know that 2.9 was like the median because I just got asked that the other day online, and I said my average or median is kind of the baseline is about 4%. I've certainly seen higher. I've certainly seen lower.
Yeah.
But a 4% plus is what I would call a good return. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean a 3.8 or a 3.5 is bad or whatever.
Yeah.
But sub 3 might kind of be not a feasible return for me.
Yeah. Yeah, shit, because all the hashers are having to buy is equipment that relatively sits there, bags, you clean them, that's labor. All that, like the only thing they're throwing out is pucks, so puck bags, which are dirt cheap, especially if you buy in bulk. So there's a lot less, I think, overhead on that end because you buy a freeze dryer. Your freeze dryer, relatively low maintenance. There's like oil pumps, and that's about it. But it should just sit there and work.
Yeah, you should have watched last night's show. That was
What
not the
was?
consensus.
Well, I know. Yeah, I saw a little bit where Dan started getting into about his freeze dryer, but they should just sit there and work in terms of like it's a machine. You buy it once and it's
Minimal
relatively low
maintenance.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should
So there's
damn
that. Whereas you're buying solvents. Say what, Tara?
You should at least get your money's worth out of it. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. You should, yeah. Either way,
You know, they
but
should have better customer service and stand behind things, and hopefully he has a
for
better
the price too.
yeah, I mean
It's like the smallest one's like 2,900 or something crazy. They still and they're green tax like a motherfucker because they didn't have competition for the last 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and now they do though. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, they're selling them in Tractor Supply now, the harvest rates.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've seen them at multiple Tractor Supply locations.
What is
I
it?
know
What?
someone northern Michigan.
What would a farmer need for that?
Shit, he talked
Wonder.
about it on Instagram.
Try your
Rascal Farmer's daughter apparently used to or does work at Tractor Supply, and he was able to get her discount on a harvest rate and just took it right out in his truck. You know what I mean? From the store.
Wow, that's sick.
But no, that's what preppers. You know, preppers like to
Yeah, for sure.
freeze dry
Oh,
leather.
okay, I see. Yep. Yeah, freeze dry all their stuff so they can throw it in the
Yeah.
bomb shelter.
Yep.
But I mean, even at farmers markets now, I'm seeing the same candies that we're doing, like the Skittles and the peach rings. Like people
Yeah.
are just freeze drying candy and selling them at farmers markets next to the Amish handcrafted stuff and the local farms corn and beans, and you know what I mean. It's just like if you got an Etsy shop, you probably got a freeze dryer now. It's just like
You're not kidding. I was at a farmer's market in Chelsea. Was it Chelsea? No, I think this is the one in Illinois. Anyhow, there was one stand where the daughter had like half the stand. She was younger. I don't know. Looked like 10 maybe. But she had all different flavors of freeze-dried ice cream. You know, they're calling that astronaut ice
Huh.
cream.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I saw. You're right. I see
What
that.
flavors?
I mean,
Dude,
obviously,
she had like at least
chicken mince,
30 different flavors, bro.
probably
Like,
some butter pecan.
Oh, I thought you said
loose
3.
jacks.
no,
That
she had
would
like
be my
30,
3.
like
So
yeah.
like cookie dough,
It looked
mint
like
chocolate
looked like
chip.
Man,
like it was like a good chunk about this size would fill that
like an
spot.
ice cream sandwich, you know.
Yeah, in
I'd
like,
eat an ice cream sandwich right now.
I would too. In a it's just in a bag
Oh,
in like a Mylar bag too. So it was like
Nice.
same packaging and
She
everything.
knows what. Yeah, she knew what she was doing.
You know?
Just gotta ask her for the ones that are 300 milligrams per pack.
yeah.
Those ones behind the counter.
Well, I shared a video of Spartan Puke today,
You should do that. You should share it right
and
now. I think it
oh,
looks great.
okay,
I think it looks
yeah, and I went to look, and I was like, it's like gotta be like day 30. It's only day 22 though.
good. Day 22, and it's gonna go a little bit. It's gonna go at least 9 weeks, probably more.
Yeah. Oh, this is what they put in kids' Halloween, by the way. You gotta watch out for. There's untapped
I figured out
islands.
why
Oh, there's nothing worse than an untapped island. Damn. Well, I guess a tapped island would be worse.
So, like, as you can see, nodes. Gosh darn, why is that popping up? Get out of here, guy.
Because you're sharing the trichome forges one. Should look on the trichome. There you go.
Oh. Alright, pause. Keep going. Do I have sound? Can you hear that?
No.
No.
Oh, that's a bummer. I picked that song. It was a really good song.
It is a really good
Oh,
song.
we'll
If you
play it. We'll play it. Yeah.
If you look, the node spacing, man, these things are close, but they're not. If you notice, everything that's upper above the canopy is like nice. It's not leafy.
Mhm.
So I think after we pluck, it'll look a lot better. We're gonna pluck this week.
And these are
Well,
leafy fucking plants. These are leafy plants.
These are there, yeah. But they got me and TJ were talking about. It's old genetics, man. Vortex is old genetics. It's
Yeah.
gonna throw that shit. So we'll just
They're
find some that
reminding
might
me-
not have.
They're reminding me of what my clementine and my lime skunk do, where they really want to throw up one cola. Like they're doing everything they can to get the one cola on
Yeah,
that
these are
plant above
topped
the
and they
rest.
were even, but now as you can
Right.
see, it's like
Right.
some are, yeah.
You have to do that shit until day 22, 24, like continually train them. And I'm not saying super crop them that late, but
Yeah.
you might be super cropping through week 1. We'll do it through week 2. It's
Were
like
those-
that's that type
That
of
was a
plant.
seed
if you
run,
wanna-
right?
Yeah,
That was
they're
a seed run?
20 seeds.
Oh
Seed.
well, in that
Seed.
case, I mean,
And did you top any of them?
Yeah, I topped them all the same day.
Oh, you did top
Probably,
them
I
all?
don't know what day, but sometime in veg. Yeah.
Wow.
And they were all real even. You guys Spartan, they were all real even, and then they got even more even because once I got the first trellis and I was able to train them, and then we put this net up and let them go obviously because it's the last net, and it's like Fagorli kind of just described. Some of them just want to throw one is the tallest, even though. So it's like they've decided, what do they call it, the apex or no, the aperture, no. What is that trait why we top? Because the plant wants to have one competing.
the
You're
hormones.
breaking the apical dominance.
Yeah, that's it. The apical dominance.
How do you spell that, Spartan? Apical?
Yeah.
It's like the trait where the plant wants
E.
to have one main cola.
Yeah.
Why
you
we
break-
get the Christmas shape.
Yeah, like whatever the uppermost, topmost is the. Now I'm confused now that we've broken it
That's
down.
what I'm saying. I don't know.
Is it like
I forget the word.
or something?
It's the
Trait. I'm gonna find it. It was trait.
apical.
Yeah, I mean, I've always just thought of it.
Basically, it's just breaking it.
Trait,
It's so when you break, it's like from like the apex, like Stingmay said in chat. It's like the apex, apical dominance, and when you break that, then the other side branches now think they're the top, so they start getting more and they start growing up, and they'll catch up to that one top that you just slowed down.
But this is almost physically based on gravity and where those hormones are trying to shoot to, because they're trying to shoot to one top, right, in the plants, but it's almost like whatever top is leading is going to get those.
Well, the plant's
mostly
also
because
wanting one top because it wants to get taller than any other plants around it to catch pollen. Its main goal is to have the best, stickiest, most protective, defensive pollen catcher.
Look at
and
the pistils
it's
on
shade
the
avoidance,
plants,
so it's
dude.
trying to get away from shaded spots, so it grows in different directions.
Almost like a sunflower where those leaves will try to like look at the light. It's really cool.
Yep. It's I used to know the actual hormones, but I can't think of them now.
Is it auxins?
And cytokinins. There's auxins and cytokinins, and the auxins are what sit in the apical meristem and tells the plant that's the tops.
It's all coming back.
Yeah, and the cytokinins is what sits
Back
in
to
the
me
roots. It sits in the roots. So yeah, and when you take that top off, that you're literally taking that hormone away from the plant. You're literally removing that, and so the plant's got to use the next best ones, and so it makes those the new tops.
And that's why we call it high stress training, right? Versus low stress training, which is like a super cropping, I think, or like just like a bending over, or even low stress training where I think of back in the day where we're like tying branches back, maybe down to the pods or something, or forcing them down with a scrog net, right? Like those are similar ways to not necessarily damage the
cut
plant.
it. Yeah, everything to do to cut it, leave that on there and kind of try to save that growth.
I did for the first time in a long time finally grow a plant big and I guess for a long enough duration to see it like basically wrap around a green tie, like the green twist ties. I had it wrapped around a stem like holding I don't know, it must have been a yellow sticky trap. I'm trying to remember what it was. Maybe it was to an actual scrog net or something to the side. And it grew, that one branch grew enough to kind of like wrap around it like a tree does, around like a, I don't know, piece of rope or something that's attached to it. And it just reminded me of how aggressive some of these strains are.
Oh, yeah. The really fast growers seem to be the ones with the hollow stems too.
Yeah, they're just swallowing it up like a straw, man.
I just think it's more like they're developing so fast they can't fill in. It's like, no,
maybe
just keep growing.
To think about, one that does that, so that makes a little sense there. Or sugarcoat does that.
I don't know if it did it the first time. I don't know if it's done it anymore.
Yeah, pretty much it does. Yeah, it's really like out there, even in veg. Like it's really out there. Cowboy Yetis are so freaking frosty, and we're going into well, we're day like what 30, 31, 32 right now, and they are so frosty. So
That's awesome.
What kind of strains are we talking?
Cowboy Yeti is the one from ABC Co, and that is hold on. Let me grab it. Let me grab my little treasure chest here.
I just want to shut up. Constant Evolution Genetics corrected me. They said I had it backwards. Cytocannins are in the plant, and the auxins are in the roots.
Oh, thank you for that.
Okie doke.
Cowboy Yeti is Platinum Cake and Mr. Nasty. So super excited to see what that's gonna bring about.
And we got Junior Mints and Chem. And
Our Chem cookies. We have Cherry Paloma.
Cherry
Thanks
Paloma.
to the
Okay.
JR Token Cut.
What else do we have? We thinned out a lot, so I don't want to say we thinned out a lot, but we got rid of 2 strains, but we brought 2 strains in, so
Yeah.
mostly chems. We have a lot of chems.
Yo, those banana conda are hard to root. Spartan, like I haven't had one root yet. I'm like, what in the world?
I got one of the flow roots to root, so I'm gonna bring that over when I see you.
All right, cool.
Thursday. So I have that. I'm still waiting on the goddamn banana conda. I'm like, what the fuck is the deal with these things?
Yeah, hey, some are like that.
Sometimes they take a little bit, but you know what? That Cherry Paloma was the same way. I lost it the first time I got it. I had to get a second cut, and now I haven't had any trouble since. But it definitely is slower than other ones in the Grodan.
Yeah,
definitely. It's always the last one in the bunch there. It's start showing roots.
So
Yeah.
I've got a question. For all my experts on the panel here. I have, as you guys know, I haven't popped seeds in a long time. What's your recommendation for popping these?
Oh, you don't want to ask me.
I know Spartan's answer. Well, I don't know.
Well, let's hear yours
but
first.
It's gonna be real short and sweet.
Let's hear yours, Baked.
Yeah.
Mine. What do I do these days? So what I do is I get a 500 ml cup, and I put 5 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide in it. It's RO, and I mix that up, and then I dip a paper towel into that, and I put that seeds in the paper towel and into a Ziploc, and then I put it into somewhere dark. And then that's usually only takes a day for it to get some tail roots, right? Usually, but might take a day and a half. Then they go into a cube. Like I use cube plugs.
Like a root ride type of cube. Okay.
And once I see a tap root out of that, the bottom of it, then they get planted.
Hold on. What are you doing in
What do you
the
mean?
okay, so you put it in the
It only
cube.
takes like another day or two. Yeah, the cubes
just
are nice and moist.
You got like a dome. You got them like just hanging out.
I got them in a dome. Like I use those Grodans, and I got them in those with a dome with everything, all the vents shut.
So keeping it moist. Yeah, keeping it.
Yeah,
moist.
sometimes you got, depending on your environment, you might want to put a little water in the bottom.
When he says Grodans, he means the tray, the Grodan tray, not Grodan cubes. Just to be
let me pull them up. I don't know. It's
He's using them directly into 6-inch.
Regular peat plugs into the Grodan tray in a humidity dome.
Yep. These suckers. They're real
real
useful.
They're so sturdy.
You put these in one of your black trays, like this picture. And then you can put a dome over it. But they're just made perfect for cubes, and I guess
you
Rockwell
fit
cubes.
your finger into the triangle cut out below them to push them out from the bottom?
No,
you don't need to. They don't sit.
Look at how they
sit off flush. Okay.
I've never met a cube that doesn't sit flush.
I've never met a cube that's.
You wouldn't want to grab them from the bottom if you can, so you might as well grab it where you can at the top.
Yeah, look at the second row, the second picture over.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see it.
Yep.
That's why I'm asking, because if it's flush there, you need a way to get them out. You know
Never
what I mean?
had
Like
that
digging
issue.
them in there,
Yeah.
pull. Because I've pulled on those stems, right, and you just think the whole thing's gonna come out because it's rooted, and all of a sudden it just breaks the roots or something because
Yeah,
you know,
no.
yeah.
Yep.
I've done seeds. I've done seeds both ways, where we've put them in moist paper towels and put them in baggies and dark, and I've also put them right into soil, and both have done perfectly fine. But I liked Bake's way because I feel like that's a little cleaner, and it's going to sterilize things and possibly
I got the peroxide tip from Riot Seeds. He
yeah.
posted the thing. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. You really do want things real clean at the beginning, because that's where I see fuck ups. Is a little taproot might grow a little bit and then stop for 2 weeks, and you just you'll start seeing brown or some bacteria. So sometimes if I think they're real old seeds, I'll soak those cubes instead of like a small seedling mix. I have cannas. I'll just soak them in RO with hydrogen peroxide again. Really, you just need RO for a while too. You don't have to give them any newts really, but I like to, just in
I'm
case they're a powerhouse, I want them to have a little bit, like 100 ppm.
I was always just thinking, you plant vegetable seeds right in the soil, so why can't you plant cannabis seeds right in the soil and go about your business? And that's
I've
why
done it that way and it works too.
I do that the way I do it, and I've had zero problem with it. The only time I have any trouble with any of those seeds is if it gets overwatered, Mister.
No, definitely overwatered.
Well,
That's
that's where it gets harder in cocoa. If you plant in
what
like in
how to
your
start.
3 gal pot or something like that, you might have an issue because you have to keep that center dry, and you don't know how deep you have to keep it
I
for a
don't know.
while.
I don't know. Kind of another way, also by putting it right directly in the soil, is that's another way that you're not handling it anymore.
Yeah,
If you put it in a paper towel,
yeah.
so put it in a paper towel. If you're still some way touching it, manipulating it. Me, I'm just taking it right out of where I got it from and sticking it right in
If
the
if I were doing soil, and I had like which if I were doing soil, I'd have big beds, or at least big pots. Then I would put it right in the soil. I think I might soak it for a day in hydrogen peroxide if they're old or something.
What the fuck? All right, so,
Yeah, let's hear it, Spartan.
Yeah.
so you can just put it right in the soil. That's completely fine, and that's great.
No,
That's
I
what
just
nature's done for thousands of fucking years. And
don't
that's
get me
what
wrong. It all works.
Or what I like to do is I do like those root right plugs. They do a better job of keeping moisture around the shell to increase germination, I think. So I don't do any of the nonsense mumbo jumbo. I don't do songs or dances or stand on my head. I just put the thing in the root riot thing. I use tap water, whatever comes out of my fucking faucet, and I get really good results with them. Usually, like what Bake said, I think it's like maybe 2 days when you see roots start popping out of the bottom of those things.
Yeah, but you do
Honestly, I
want to
don't.
get them in somewhere. You
I
don't want
honestly
that
don't.
taproot drying
Yeah,
up.
and I honestly don't even usually wait. I was just gonna say I honestly don't even
Yeah, you
usually
don't have to at all.
for the taproot to come out. If I see
I
the
just like to, because sometimes you get duds and you're like, oh, okay, never even shot a taproot, you piece of crap. But and that's the thing, when he does it with his even using tap water, you've got some chlorine in there. That's cleaning agent. That's so technically it should be cleaning some stuff anyways.
okay,
I mean,
well we can explain it however we want to explain it, but I just fucking turn my tap water on and I fucking put my seed in the root right cube.
I'm just
Pop my seeds.
pointing out a feature of your method.
Just
Yeah.
the scientific facts. I mean,
I don't like I
You
don't
don't have
like
to get
the
offended.
paper towel. I don't like the paper towel because the root hairs will stick to that, and you're
yeah,
ripping off the root
especially
hair.
if you let them go too long.
Yeah,
So,
I don't let them
here's
go.
another thing
Check them every day.
I give my
Yeah.
club the
Well,
regular.
I'm saying the root hairs. Like if you look at a root under a microscope,
I don't give my
Yeah, the
club.
mic. I know what you're talking about, Spartan. The tiny
Yeah.
microscopic fibers shooting out.
They do fine.
But
yeah, I mean it does fine for sure, Tara. But it's better to eliminate steps if you can. I think too. Like why go through the song and dance of all the other stuff?
success.
That's what I'm saying. If the success rate's the same, why?
I've had the most success doing it this way.
Okay.
I don't know. I just put it in my little solo cup with its soil, and then I just.
Where do you
I
you
like-
guys put it in your room?
I like that, Tara. I'm down
Yeah.
with that.
Like I don't even. I put it above lights. Like it's on the top rack in the
Mine's on the
bedroom.
floor. Mine's on the floor.
Like where's that in comparison? In the floor of your tent?
In the floor of my veg, so it'd be like the veg lights on the ceiling, and then on the floor
Okay.
furthest
Yeah.
point away from the veg light.
Yep.
Coolest part of your bedroom.
Lucas adds iron. I haven't heard of that, but that might be a little tidbit. There's iron in your tap water, Spartan.
I've had pretty good success.
There's probably iron in my soil. See, my minerals are already in my soil, in which
That's
I put
true,
my
too.
seed. I don't, I'm not watering my minerals onto my plant.
Yeah.
They're already there.
Top of the refrigerator is a pretty nice and warm spot usually, and I've had some pretty good success popping seeds there. Typically that was like the paper towel method back in the day. Nowadays, I just assume I'm gonna throw it right in a peat pellet type situation, or
Those were
into
good.
a solo cup where the soil, you like just keep it moist. I mean, I know it's really just about keeping it moist, but once that thing pops over the soil, you got to treat it like every other plant. You don't want to start draining it or drowning it from there on out, because it doesn't have a root ball, like depending on the size of the pot, right? If you're starting it in a 1 gallon, 5 gallon, 10 gallon, it's going to take quite a while to fill that thing out.
Yeah. That's the only reason I would not recommend starting in your final pot if you got a big final pot or a bed. I think I'd like to step it up a couple times and build that root ball a little bit more compact before I just let it loose.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a certain little mister that I use that I got from Sally's. It's one of these 360 degrees. Hold on, let me grab it. Ugh. It's a 360 degree sprayer, and so I can stand it upside down all this way. I can hold it, and it gives like a continuous mist, or just I can do a little psh, psh, psh. And this is always what I use with my seedlings. This is for a very long time, even sometimes into my 1 gals. I use this. So this is very handy, and you can get this at Sally's.
360 is very important because there's so many times where you're trying to like get the under side of leaves, you know what I mean? And if it's not like a battery powered thing, it doesn't have the right connection.
This was the best thing I ever found, and I truly live by this one. So get your little sprayer at Sally's. I think it was like $6.99 or something. Well worth it.
I'm not familiar with Sally's. What is that?
It's a beauty salon.
Oh, that makes sense.
Sally's Beauty Supply.
Like
Get your shampoos and stuff and sprayers.
Eyelashes.
We have one here, Spartan, because I often wonder how it's open.
It's like where
what beauty supplies are not sold at any other
It's
major retailer?
salons, dude. It's where salons are buying the hairstylists and stuff. That's where they get their stuff.
Chemicals
And you don't think the hairstylists can buy their stuff off Amazon for cheaper?
Now and they need it quick.
But they let
that's true.
a place for anybody to come to. You can buy anything there, but hairstyle, they
gotta have a membership to get in there. Can any Joe?
Is it a card situation?
A membership, but you can get a membership.
No, I can't wait until you have a daughter baked.
But anybody
Go to Sally and be like, you can go to Amazon.
I don't want to be a member to get a $6
Go
sprayer.
to Target right across the street.
You do not have to be a member.
You do not.
You might.
I've been in there myself.
I'm a member of a club. It's special.
This song, you gotta have a membership card to go.
Called Sam's.
It's called.
I remember that same club, big.
Yep, it's you have to be a cool guy to be there. But
I think that's
I like going there. I went there though. You told me about cinnamon rolls. They didn't have any 4-packs like big ones. They only had like platter of like 30. Yeah, it was like 24-pack.
Do you mean the man size? Is that what you mean?
You're gonna eat 24 cinnamon rolls before they expire?
Absolutely, I can eat 24 cinnamon rolls
Holy shit!
before they
I
expire.
don't think I could. I was worried.
I
wanted like 4 big ones.
What's the expiration date? What's the expiration date? What do you think? 2 weeks?
I bet they were a week.
You think a week?
Even 2 weeks, dude. Come on.
2 weeks?
And the expiration date isn't when I'm gonna stop eating them. It's when they get
2.5
dry
cinnamon
too.
rolls a day.
Well, you gotta keep them wrapped up, man. You don't just open the whole fucking package. What are you
I'm
doing?
really mad.
It's
You mean
Sam's
that? You
Club.
mean
What do you
that
mean you
too?
don't open the whole
That
package?
corner click plastic doesn't seal? It seems like it does. But no, you're probably right. I should probably just throw them in the mic. Keep them in the mic. You know?
There you go.
Or just use that new vac sealer you got and break it up like a civilized
Fact.
person and use your deep freezer. And, now you got 4 weeks worth of cinnamon
That's
rolls
true.
instead of forcing them all down your gullet in 1 week.
Even if it's 1 week, that's like eating 3 a day. That's like
I
one.
really want a cinnamon
It's
roll now,
all
though.
easy, bro.
If I had a tube of
Easy.
Pillsbury,
Right
I
now.
mean, it sounds like a fantastic ideal until about day 2.
Y'all are weak if you can't eat some cinnamon rolls. Come on now.
I can eat a decent amount. Like, I'll pop a Pillsbury tube and probably eat most of it to myself. One sitting. But I won't feel good about myself, and it's not good for you.
In San Antonio, there's this restaurant that had cinnamon rolls the size of my head. They were seriously like the 1
Nice.
pound ones.
I could
or whatever.
probably
They
do
made
like
some-
one of those if I was
they
real
made one of
hungry,
those-
but
those
like,
TV shows.
I'm
Anyway,
talking about like,
and I ate that.
it was almost a 2 foot by 1 foot platter of cinnamon rolls. It was a lot.
Hey, you guys didn't know the best trimming scissors come from Sally's Beauty Supply?
No.
You get chicken
Unless they
monster
sell
powder.
Chicas. Chicas are still hands down the best.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I don't know. I still haven't tried the what are those ones? The gold handled ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have those. You know what? I do. Hold on.
Gold-handed.
I have a pair right here, actually.
What was the name
And
of those again?
I really, really do like these.
They're, what are they
It's just a little
called?
small for your hand, maybe,
Can't remember what
possibly.
they're called.
Yeah, it does look a little small. You're right.
But they
There's
are.
different versions of the.
Yeah, they're very nice. So you can really get into a bud and really work with it.
What's the brand?
Diamond Coconut.
Oh, Diamond Coconut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, Diamond Co's the other one that's supposed to be really
Diamond
good.
Co.
But they are a little more
I like
pricey.
So I've got those. I mean, I've got
How much
these.
are we talking?
This right here.
I believe those were like 40 or something, whereas a Chica you can get off Amazon for 23 bucks.
Oh, that's
Damn, you're keeping that guy rich.
Well, I go to the local Grow Gin, and they're 35 bucks. Well, what's the point?
yeah. You take your pick here. We got
I also
Fifth,
had to drive over there.
Diamond Coconut.
You go to the gym, man. It's right close by. It's not even that
That
much
is true.
drive.
That is true, but they have the worst hours. Those are like 6
You are right.
every
They have
day.
the shittiest fucking hours.
It's
Let me buy,
miserable.
let me
Bro,
buy
they
the
told me, bro,
grocery store and make it worse hours.
bro, I'm so glad we're on the Late Sesh. These cocksuckers. I drove over there with my 50-pound tank, and it was Friday, so I know they refill on Friday. They get all their CO2 refills on Friday. Drive over there, it's like 3 in the afternoon. And I go in there, I'm like, you guys got CO2? Yep. I'm like, all right, I got a 50-pound. Let me pay for it, then I'll drive around back. And he's like, well, the guy's dropping them off right now. And he just stops talking. I'm staring at him like, okay, so what does that mean? I can't get one? And he's like, no, we have to do paperwork and then the purchase order. We have to get the purchase order before we can release any or something. And I was just like, well, what does that mean? Like that? Does that take 5 minutes? Does that take 10 minutes? He's like, oh. I was like, 20 minutes? I can go to Walmart and do my shit real quick and come back because it's right there. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. So I spent 20 minutes at Walmart, come back. They still weren't ready. I just started walking around the store. Finally, the one guy's like, hey, just sell it to him so we can get him out of here and on his way or whatever. And it was like, you could have done that from the get-go. Like, just sell it in your
Absolutely. He
system
said-
and then deal with it later. But whatever. This is what I'm just, yeah.
It sounds like you got there fast enough that they haven't checked it into their inventory. They probably accepted the delivery, but didn't, put it into their inventory system. And so he didn't want to go through and just put one in when he had to do them all. It's probably
Yeah.
something simple like that. But like, come
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
dude.
if I've worked retail. There's something they could have done. They could have just done it immediately. But
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
they've been open for
it's
like
called,
10,
it's called a
20
post-it
years.
note. Have
That's
it
what I'm
handy.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't even give you cash. And then, yeah, you just post a note when it's done, we do a fucking exchange.
Or just do a
But
sale. Yeah, just do a sale at the end. Like you
it's
just walk in at
it's
that
just
point.
funny at that place, and they've been open forever. So it's like you haven't ran into somebody coming
No,
in with
they're Gorgon
CO2.
now. It's all different corporate BS crap. They don't
Well,
remember.
They
yeah,
all are, right?
They lost all their brain.
yeah.
So like,
But
what? I hate going into that store now. I
that's all
hate
we
it.
got too when you're in a pinch
That's
or
what
like
I was gonna
CO2.
ask.
I
Is
gotta
that
come check that Ace though. I gotta check that Ace. It's like a franchise Ace that has gas. See how much they do it. But
Yeah,
Grogen's still cheap. It's the same price, luckily, that it was before Grogen bought it. So it's $27 for a 50-pound swap out.
it.
That's
Well,
pretty good.
hey, I got a question for you.
Ace
But
is
if somewhere can fill mine, that's better because I'll wait till I get one of the nice new ones like I first got,
the nice
and a
aluminum one.
clean one, and then I'll keep it.
The clean
And then
one.
Okay.
and then I'll go to Ace.
Big, do you
Dude,
have
they give
a
me some ratchet ones. And I'm like, yo, I gave you a straight stainless steel spotless one. You
This
can,
one needs to
it's
be
not
painted.
stainless steel, but it's a little, and you can give me one that looks like that.
Baked, do you
They
have
exchange
any
there. I don't think they fill.
Baked, do you have any sometimes sporting goods stores do it? Like the bigger chains they
No,
used
we
to.
we
But
only have Dunhams or
do
something like
you
that.
I'll ask them, but do you have
Those will do.
paintball
Yeah, we do.
We do
places
have
by you?
paintball plays actually
Ask them.
Right by
near
my house.
Spartan.
Ask
Yeah,
them
yeah. I'll call them and see.
because
They
they
probably
might be willing to
They
swap.
probably just get bought the air gas out there. They probably just get air gas out there, and they have tanks.
Yeah, because it's
They'll
right
do-
They're
there.
gonna have them lined up, but you might be able to like do some sort of deal with them. Just have the
Yeah,
access.
yeah.
Or you
I
can just
wish
call it air gas and see how much it is.
that paintball
You
place
can
didn't
create an
look like
account with
it
them.
had field play. It looked like it just had speedball.
Yeah, it was bullshit. It's fucking. It was a
Okay.
disgrace to paintball.
I like field play.
Only tourney ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all it was speedball net with silos and shit.
I can't wait to one day share my paintball trophies with you guys.
We should do a Mission Bros either paintball or airsoft. I got my airsoft gun.
I
But
still
we
have
have
my.
to wait till
Either.
next summer.
Still got my Titman A5.
I know quite a.
Hey, nice.
Oh, the A5, not even
I
the
tried to
98.
convince my
huh?
parents
the
once.
98.
Man.
Don't
They
insult
let
me.
me
That's
I was
OG,
in high
dude. That's
school.
OG, Timon. What are you talking about? I'm not insulting you. That's like classic. You A5, like all technology and like advanced.
I want the Hopper Incorporated, man.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
big
one
old
you
spiral
always
thing.
rented the 95 or something like
98, dude. The model
that?
98.
Yeah.
Still
It was just
can. You
bare
still buy that
bases. That's
sucker for
all I
98
had.
bucks. At least you can.
Reason that
I
I
saved
rent
up
them
for
those Titman were fucking solid, man.
Yeah, it's like the AK-47 of the paintball world, man. You can chuck it in the
Yeah.
dirt, throw it in the river,
Oh,
give it to some
yeah,
kid that's
yeah.
never played before, and it's still gonna work.
I was looking at I think it was called Spider or Angel or something.
Yep.
They were
Oh,
stupid
fuck those
expensive.
two good companies.
And
Two also companies.
Fuck
yeah.
that, Angels.
Well, you mad about those $1,000 plus guns?
You mad about the
Yeah.
Spider
I can't
AMG,
move, I
E
can't
trigger.
move, I can't go left or right.
I liked military sim a lot.
That's dude. So if we ever want, Pennsylvania has the biggest
Yes,
paintball
yes.
place in the United
go.
States, and they did like a D-Day, the biggest paintball event ever. It was like I want to say 2,500 people showed up for a D-Day reenactment. They
That's
have vehicles, they have everything. They made like dunes and shit. It's crazy. But another cool place is down in Georgia. They actually built this fake city, so it's just like it's real buildings, but they're just empty. They don't actually have any doors or windows or anything. They're just open. And it's I think there's a giant wall around the place, and they can flood the whole city, and it's for training all kinds of people with flood things. So they have when cars get flood damage from hurricanes and
Yeah.
insurance's total amount, they have those there on the side of the road and stuff. And then they have buildings and all this stuff, and they let airsoft sims and
Yeah.
stuff go.
I was gonna say if we
And
want to really do a sim, we got to
that'd
go
be sick.
airsoft because they
Yeah.
go real high. I mean, they have like some of these guys are rolling up like well, some of them have like night vision. Some of them
Oh
like
yeah,
like
well, yeah.
there's a lot of like
Sniper
communication type
is
equipment.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna try to find this. It's called the
It's
Guardian
wild, bro.
Complex Airsoft.
There's like a lot of legitimate units will train through these types of methods and stuff.
Here it is, Guardian Centers.
Full kit.
This place is crazy, dude. And then yeah, could you just like look at this? Look, this is a whole city.
Yeah.
They give you there's I think there's one of these is it's like a reservoir. There's a reservoir somewhere around here. Like that's already flooded. But it's crazy. And then so like once a year I believe they still do it, they let this airsoft group that throws the event go there. So you're like
It's a
urban
Tarkov
fighting.
map. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
legitimate Tarkov map.
Oh, here's the
25
reservoir.
acres.
So they
That's
can
a lot.
use this. Yeah,
That's a lot of
16
ground to
city
cover.
blocks, bro. Yeah, well, this is like a 1,000-person event. So like you
Yeah.
break off into 10 5-man groups,
Squads
and
of
you
10,
literally
yeah.
have radios, and you're like, we're supposed to go to this building while that squad goes to that. You know,
Actual vehicles and stuff.
unmatched realism. Like it's crazy. And
Let's
normally they use it. See, look at this. You'll just be like fighting in the streets, like get behind the car.
You thought PUBG was fun, bro.
These are real people though. These are probably like
These are real
Uh,
people. No, I thought
I
those
mean,
were
like
guns.
cops and stuff.
I mean, I don't know.
That's
Look
what they
at some
use
of
this
those.
place.
Look at some of
I don't know,
Yeah, those look like.
but that's what they use this place for normally is
Do they
sim
have
training.
mustaches?
But yeah, we'll have to do something. I'm sure there's a place up here,
There's there's some.
like a decent size or famous one.
There's like the number 2 and 3.
Nighttime airsoft is crazy these
Oh,
days because you can put tracer rounds in now. It's a little attachment on your flash hider, and every like third BB it flashes your BBs, and you buy glow in the dark BBs so it looks
for tracers.
and like they'll make you if you're playing night games use those, and then so at least if you don't have night vision, which most people don't,
For
you
really
can
like Hell Survivors and Pinckney.
That's the one I was thinking.
Oh, that's
or
a
one of the
big
two I was thinking of.
place.
That's the place here in Michigan you go to, Big. That has those big
Hell's
events like that.
Yeah, I think at one point was the biggest. It's always kind of.
Oh, okay, so it's like
I like how they speed
Survivors.
test everybody too, so nobody's shooting hot, which is nice.
Yeah, that's nice about it. Yeah. Oh, and they do both paintball and airsoft. Big games. I want pictures.
They have this
a hotel.
They have this little ATV thing with a Gatling gun on top of it with the whole top of it.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Go to big games at the top next to home.
That's what I did.
Oh, well.
I went to.
Don't scroll too fast. You scroll too fast.
What do you mean?
I'll just go back up.
To this?
There's so many things. So there's 3 different events: Living Legends, Monster Game.
Oh.
So there's social paintball.
Oh yeah, we have a whole year to play on that. CPI. What is the difference? Monster games? Do you dress as monsters?
It's just different scenarios, I think, is what they do.
Final War.
Oh, Monster Game's probably like
Battle for World Domination. That might be fun. That sounds like Risk. Real life.
It does sound like Risk. But I played that.
I wish I had pictures.
The castle course is pretty cool.
About
because it has the entry that comes down through the tube or through the front.
I gotta have pictures.
I liked my favorite course was the one with all the little city. I liked that a lot. I thought that was really fucking cool. The mock city they had, the downed airplane.
That's crazy.
It was fun.
They have a broken like a real airplane.
Yeah,
they
did. I don't know. I haven't been there I haven't looked there for years and years. But they did.
These photos. Oh yeah, there's the rental. They still got Tipmans. No, I don't see any Tipmans, bro.
Oh.
I see. Yeah, I don't see any Tipmans, but
I used
be an
to
outdated picture or something.
I used to film these events like before the days of drones and.
I think Sequence did too. He's got some older videos. I just like doing them, man. I remember the first time we went with my dad. We went, and there was a creek, so it made it all the more real because it was like you had to either go through that creek and get wet, or like sit on the other side and barricade, and that was so much fun.
So much fun. We used to play with my buddies. It'd be like 5 or 6 of us, and that's all there'd be. And we'd be split up in half in 2 teams, and one would go into the woods, and the other would go in and assault them and try to, get them out.
Yeah,
it's fun.
While we're on the topic, one of the things I can't believe, and I've only had one person point this out since I've had this here for the years I've had it here.
I couldn't really tell what that is.
This is a signed inflatable bunker by Team Dynasty from a
Oh
World
yeah,
Cup
for like
team.
speedball.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really neat. Would you go to like one of the major events?
Like I said, I used to film for
Yeah.
a company that like doing World Cups and stuff like that, and PSP events around the nation, and yeah, I mean doing YouTube videos before I was even doing it for cannabis. But yeah, it's just I don't know, it's a lot more fun being on the the trigger end of those
Yeah.
events than it is a
I
camera
bet.
end, I guess. But it was a
Shit,
lot of
now
fun
you
doing
can
the
just
editing
have
and
your
stuff
drone
too.
follow you while you
Dude,
play.
I know this is before the days.
Everyone will know where you're at, but
I was sticking GoPros under bunkers and like
I'm gonna be
professional
shooting your
matches and
fucking
shit.
drone out of the air, bro.
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
major
no,
violation.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's an
It's already bad
explosion.
enough he's got the handy. He has a noise above him the whole time.
It just follow him around. Wah.
Yeah. And
I wonder
like,
where that guy is.
But yeah, dude, and like, have you guys ever done indoor or close quarter combat airsoft? It's where you like
No.
a lot of times you can usually you just use your own pistol, but
Closest
it's
I've
like
done to that is indoor laser tag.
yeah, it'd be
It's
like
so much fun,
that,
dude.
but airsoft. Yeah. Oh, I like laser tag too, but they're usually lame. Now that I've gotten older, you realize that like they're small and they're not as big as you thought they were. They don't have like mega ones.
The fog machine only goes so far,
Like go-kart, the go-kart scene is popping off. So now there's like these mega go-kart places all over. I think there's one in Detroit that's real nice. I know there's one in Indianapolis that's famous. It's like indoor, but it's like 2 levels. Pretty crazy.
like a cart to cart, is that what it's called?
I think
That's
that
what it's
yeah,
called?
I think that was it or something
They
like
all
that.
electric carts.
I think that if they're indoor, they're probably I bet regulation they
Well,
have to
yeah, I
be.
guess that would
But
make sense.
They
Can you
I know
imagine
the
all
one
those
in
engines
Lansing, the
inside?
one in Lansing's electric.
The electric ones are faster. What do you mean? You say
But
it like it's a bad thing.
Well,
they're
it is a
not.
bad thing if they're
You can have a
exposed.
way faster go kart with combustion.
Well, think
Like
about all that
shifter
carbon
carts and
monoxide
stuff.
indoors, is what he's saying.
Yeah, like a shifter cart can go 80 miles an hour. There's no electric cars that do that yet. But
Fuck, it can easily happen though because fuck. I mean, Jesus.
oh, I know. I love the battery ones because you get instant power and shit
Yeah,
in
it's
a
just like
go kart. Like, but that's why I want to get back into go karting. None that I was ever into it. I want to get into it. We used to live near a track in Florida that did like it was shifter cars. So it was like a real track for cars, but they would run go karts on them because they go 80 miles an hour and they go so fast because there's no weight to
Jeez.
them. It's just you and a motor pretty much.
scary as hell.
And yeah, that seems real scary, but that's the fun part. And
Those curves sideways.
I think eventually it's gonna shift electric, even those, because why not? You can take a corner and just go.
It's
Like
like
as long as you're aimed the right way, just go.
as long as your tires are still
And
gonna
yeah, and
hold.
your tires aren't gonna spin out, yeah, and burn out, then you're good. But I would love a go kart, a shifter car. Jam, bam, bam, man.
Yeah, but if electric one wouldn't make any noise at all.
That's okay. Yeah, what it'll go. It still sounds like scary to me. It's like, what is that?
All right, would you rather have a yacht or a helicopter?
Helicopter. Fuck that yacht. What the hell?
What are we talking? Are we talking nuclear operated yacht versus
Fly or
helicopter?
swim?
Operated
What do you want? Fly or swim, Baked?
Well, eventually you got to land. You know what
That's
I'm
what
saying?
I'm saying. Like, so if it goes water world, the boat's
Yeah,
winning.
that's kind of what
They're
I'm.
never gonna go land world. That's
No,
not an option.
I'm gonna float some fucking good weed to the fucking guy driving the big fucking resupply fucking airship.
Oh, you and your high hopes.
All right, so I got the boat. Spartan's got a helicopter. We team up.
Hey, there you go.
There's
I
a
like
There's a hydroponic room in the yacht. And,
I deliver. I'm
we
delivery
grow
Yeah,
fuel and biofuel and cannabis next to each other.
That's right.
And yep,
And I deliver the product.
that'd be sweet.
And
What kind of helicopter are we talking?
I mean, I feel like a Chinook is pretty solid, even though it's really
Ooh.
loud. It's got a lot of
But
capacity.
it's not
and-
nimble. It's not nimble.
No,
No, but it's
I need a really
military
big boat to land that on.
I want an Apache.
grade. Well, I hope that Spartan's got a big boat for you. You know.
I want an Apache.
No, you got the boat.
Apache would be cool, but what I was
Yeah.
thinking, could I pick one of
You pick
those. They're
whatever you
not
like.
technically a helicopter,
Oh
but it's one of
wow.
those plane things that turns its propellers.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying.
A Harrier jet.
No, that's not a.
No,
It's
what
not
is
a
it called?
jet. Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Uh,
Harrier
It's
jet.
it's got propellers that normally face forward, but they can
Oh,
also face
Somebody's gonna say it in
vertical.
Oh, it has propellers.
Osprey.
Osprey, yep.
Oh,
I mean, look it
no.
up. Is it classified as a plane or a
Okay,
helicopter?
please,
let's
please look
Google it.
up the pictures. Yeah, share the Osprey. Okay, now share the pictures of the Apache.
All right.
Well, there's a Chinook, bottom right.
Helicopter. We all know a Canuck.
A
You don't know
Canuck.
Chinook.
A Canuck.
Yeah, that's the one I want. Yep.
That is sick. But in this scenario for Goalie, is he going to be able to resupply missiles? Because I'm not going to have no chem lab or
No,
something.
of course
I don't
not.
need to have to use them. I just have to have them to fucking have the effect.
All right. Well, let me find out if this Osprey is classified. Classified as
It's a military. It's a transport.
helicopter
It's definitely
or
would be better to
plane.
bring more weight for sure.
It is a tilt rotor aircraft that combines the vertical takeoff, hover, and vertical landing qualities of a helicopter with the long range, fuel efficiency, and speed of a turboprop aircraft.
So it's just superior.
So it's a tilt rotor aircraft. So they put it in its own. It's not a helicopter. It's a tilt rotor. That's what they call it. Tilt. Okay. More you know. Big super short show. Don't sue us, Disney.
At least not this.
That's a throwback.
Now that you said that, the logarithms are going to hear that and notify them.
Yep.
Dude, wait till you get to later in Androids and Aliens. There's this one episode. I guess Joe or one. By the way, Android Aliens is a podcast where they play Pathfinder, and they mess with the one guy on there who's in charge of like legalities and stuff by just, oh, that looks like a Jedi. And they use words you're not supposed to, and so is that a lightsaber he pulled out? Like, no, that's a sword, or something like that. And like
sword.
it's like, guys, stop. It's just a funny bit.
But it made it into the podcast. That's interesting.
Yep.
And it wasn't edited out. That's funny.
No, I don't think that's why I think it's a bit, because like I don't think Disney's that hardcore, but they do sue a lot. If you're making enough off of it, which they weren't really making money off of that. So
is this the same story that someone told me today about certain actors will get fined for wearing certain costumes on Halloween or something like that? Like if it's the wrong brand, if you will, probably the wrong character.
I don't know. I would
what
imagine,
I mean? It's
yeah.
maybe a no
If you're a
compete
celebrity,
clause, something like
Yeah. But I don't know. Who knows? Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, I don't either. It's like another one of those headline
Spartan,
type
if
deals.
you're,
that someone
let's
just told
say
me
you're,
about.
let's say you're a famous actor, but you're notorious for doing blow and hookers or something, and then you go to Halloween and you wear Disney's latest good hero costume.
Okay.
I think it's a little different than that. I think it'd be like if you were I don't even know if I'm getting these terms right because I don't watch these movies, but like say you're Marvel's shit. Give me a Marvel character.
Ant-Man.
Oh God, really?
Thor? Is that a Marvel guy?
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Thor,
So say you're Marvel's Thor, right? You're like the main character over the last decade or whatever, and all of a sudden Marvel's Thor comes out on Halloween and is wearing competitor fill in the blank for me again costume.
Superman.
Okay, wearing a Superman costume from a DC whatever.
So what? It's called America. Fucking.
Well, I think right, but it's also called capitalism and no compete contracts.
He's not Thor when he's not getting fucking paid. That's his off time.
I think that he is getting paid for it, though. Is what I'm saying. Is I think he's getting
on the hour. He's on the hourly pay.
How's he getting paid? It's not like he's making a movie while he trick or treats.
I think that is a big part of the promotional part of it, and probably taking those tens of millions of dollars is saying, I'm not going to promote someone else's movie for the time being. I mean, I think that seems.
But if you wear a Batman costume, are you representing a Batman movie because there's been 10. Or he's just wearing Batman.
Or Spider-Man, maybe is a better example
Spider-Man,
because
yeah.
that's a still ongoing franchise,
which is
right?
ridiculous. Yeah, the multi-dimension ones. They should have just kept Toby or whatever. Like those were solid storylines, solid action,
Toby fan, huh?
solid Mary Jane.
I think if I was that actor, I would just go do what the fuck I wanted to do.
But what if your contract obligations for tens of millions of dollars said you couldn't do that? I think
what I was gonna say.
what we're
If
talking
you got a
about,
contract, but I feel like it would have to be
I wouldn't
really
take a
specific
contract that
say,
told me I couldn't.
your
fucking
Halloween
go to-
costumes
we know you
cannot
wouldn't.
be this,
It would
this, or
dictate
this.
some shit for me that I would do outside of my working hours. Fuck that. You don't control me outside of working hours. The fuck?
Yeah,
That's the thing. You're always working for him.
You know, the thing is, though, is like honestly, though, in the entertainment business, like, and I hate to bring it up, I hate to bring Brittany up right now, but you know, Brittany just came out with her memoirs, you know, saying how she's been repressed for all these years because of the industry and who controlled her. Like I don't even know who was like the single source of the music business for her, but whoever like was like Columbia Records or whoever it was, they controlled her. They control the people that they, you know, have.
There you go.
So I feel like whoever plays Aquaman or Spider-Man, yeah, you probably can't be wearing everybody else's shit at all.
This is from what, a week ago?
A striking actor do not allowed to wear.
Most character-themed costumes or rules say after as former president calls infantile.
So then it's in your contract. You can't really bitch. You just got 10 million to do a movie, but you can't wear somebody else's Halloween costume. Pick anything else.
So yeah, this is why I heard about it.
And yeah, I mean, I guess if you sign it, you sign it. So if you really care about Halloween, you could be like, I'm not doing this movie.
Yeah, you got to have a good manager
clause out of
negotiate
that.
the Halloween costumes.
Yeah, like check the Halloween clause because I got fucked once on that. I won't do a movie like that
morality
again.
clause, but listen, I've got to be able to dress up for Halloween.
I can never dress up as Thor anymore for the rest of my life. Great.
I want to be Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say fuck them and I'd just do whatever I wanted. And whatever.
Well, then they sue you
And you represent that in real life, my brother. I think we all see that and appreciate that.
I wouldn't sign paperwork that had anything to do with my Halloween costumes like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild.
I think they're signing contracts that have to do with their Halloween costume, but you know, in the long run, it comes out that you know
that I'm firing my people that look over the contract.
Yeah, it's like that guy.
Like,
he just lost his fucking job.
At that level, you have people that are literally like, that is your job. I call you every once in a while to check over contracts. Like, the least you can do is read them.
Yeah, I guess that.
Well, maybe your manager didn't know it was that important to you.
That's fine. He gets fired as soon as I find out I can't wear the costume I wanted.
Or you just take the $20 million and
or
shut up about your Halloween costume.
That's what I was originally saying. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I saw that flip.
Millions and wear whatever.
I would take $20 million and not dress up for Halloween for the rest
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's what I've been saying from the beginning.
If they tried to tell me I couldn't do it,
that's where he retaliates.
You're just gonna. All right, now I don't want the 20 million. I'm just proving a point, you jerks.
No, but they have to actually work too. But if you want to pay me 20 million to just not do that, then I'll take that on top of my regular pay. I'll take that 20 mil. And you can compensate me for my not dressing up for Halloween.
That's how
I'd swing it,
ladies and gentlemen.
And that's Hallows Eve advice if you ever become a celebrity.
Yeah.
Your contract.
Yeah. Just take the money and say fuck it.
So give me that 20 mil.
Give me that 20 mil. I do my one album. I'm out. And then I go buy the farm or whatever with my solar panels.
Just live on the
And I have my own satellite for internet. That's what I'm gonna buy. My own satellite.
Starlink? Or you mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, Elon, I need one satellite over my house.
How much would it be for one satellite?
Yeah.
Over
How much
these
for one? I could do a commercial for you. I don't have any weird contracts.
I mean, as long as you could control the bandwidth and make sure you're prioritized, but it also provided
Or that. That's
internet to
fine
your
too.
township or like a certain square mileage. I think that they'd probably be willing to negotiate that. I think the problem is
Oh,
then
they
we,
would
we start
would,
having corporations controlling our Starlink internet real quick.
yeah. Well, you'd have HOA companies
Oh yeah.
You gotta
that
look
build
at it.
neighborhoods
We'll
doing
just be
that.
the highest bidder,
You gotta
man.
transfer everything to Bitcoin baked and then pay them in that.
Yeah, you probably would. All right. Well, you heard it here. Get your own satellite. If you don't have a satellite, you're a peasant. Have a good night, everyone.
I
So
like
this is king.
Keep going, everybody.